innovation of our universities, the vision of our entrepreneurs, and the participation of our communities. I therefore extend an open invitation to all our partners, both local and international, to invest in KwaZulu-Natal's digital future. Let us work together to build innovation hub, expand broadband networks, and nurture the next generation of African digital leaders right here in our province. Allow me to turn to the crucial theme of partnership, which lies at the heart of KwaZulu-Natal's digital transformation journey. We are honored this afternoon to welcome Mr. Vukani Mngadi, the newly appointed as Chief Executive Officer of Microsoft South Africa, to the KwaZulu-Natal Digital Transformation Summit 2025. Having assumed office on the 1st of October just this year, barely a month ago, Mr. Mngadi's presence carries special significance. As a proud Natal, now leading one of the world's most tangible commitments to our province's digital transformation agenda, and to build a more connected, innovative, and equitable society. Microsoft's ongoing leadership, both in the technology sector and through direct collaboration with government, continues to empower communities, drive innovation, and expand digital access across KwaZulu-Natal. We equally extend our sincere appreciation to our gold sponsors, Telkom, Huawei, and Vodacom. Your shared dedication to advancing technological progress in KwaZulu-Natal strengthens our collective efforts to accelerate connectivity, expand digital skills, and enhance service delivery across all corners of our province. A special word of thanks also goes to MTN, our silver sponsor, for its continued contribution to building a more connected and digital inclusive society. Together, these partnerships represent a powerful coalition of technology leaders, innovators, and visionaries working side by side with government, academia, and civil society. This united front is not only shaping KwaZulu-Natal's digital future, but also redefining how collaboration can unlock a shared prosperity. As the government of the Provincial Unity, we reaffirm our commitment to nurturing these partnerships, because digital transformation cannot be achieved by government alone. It requires a shared vision, collective investment, and a deep sense of social purpose. Together, let us code, connect, co-create the digital destiny of KwaZulu-Natal. Together, let us continue inspiring new hope for a better KwaZulu-Natal. I know that you are coming from different corners of this province, from different communities, rural, urban, township. I think we have a task to reimagine our communities in an era of an advanced stage of technology, wherein we have those who are the innovators coming from our communities. We need to answer an important question. What is our role that we play in our society? In fact, to nurture, to introduce new participants to innovation that is required by our province. With those words, I wish that your summit becomes a successful summit, and you live here with something new to share with others who are not here. I thank you. Well, I must apologize because after here, we have to leave with Shenge. I'm starting a program, I'm already late. They're saying I must go and sign there.
The pledge that the Premier is about to sign is his commitment on behalf of the provincial government that as this effort that has started, his provincial government is pledging to use all resources, including those of the private sector. So he is going to read that, and we all witness and take pictures and make that trend. Mpemba.
Well, as a Premier of KwaZulu-Natal, I'm deeply honored to lead this first Digital Transformation Summit, a historic gathering that marks a bold new chapter for our province. Installed as Premier in June 2024, I assumed this leadership with a clear mandate to drive progress, inclusion, and innovation for every citizen. Today, we begin delivering on that promise together. This summit is not just an event, it is the official launch of the KwaZulu-Natal Digital Transformation Strategy 2025-2030. A 5-year blueprint to build a digital empowered, a connected, and a future-ready province, fully aligned with Chapter 4 of the National Development Plan 2030 and the National Digital Transformation Roadmap. To further ground our efforts, we recognize Chapter 4 of the NDP as a critical framework that positions information and communication technology, the ICT, as the backbone of the economic growth and social development in South Africa. ICT is not only an enabler, but a cornerstone for modernizing our economy and enhancing public service delivery. In alignment with this, the government commits to fostering competitive markets, stimulating investment in ICT infrastructure, and implementing targeted interventions to ensure universal broadband access and digital inclusion. We therefore pledge to expand equitable access to digital infrastructure, tools, and services across KwaZulu-Natal, ensuring affordable broadband for all citizens. Bridge the urban and rural digital divide to leave no community behind. I think, let us read together this one. We therefore pledge to expand equitable access to digital infrastructure, tools, and services across KwaZulu-Natal, ensuring affordable broadband for all citizens. Bridge the urban and rural digital divide to leave no community behind. Empower youth, women, and marginalized groups with the digital skills and opportunities they deserve. Foster innovation, support digital entrepreneurship, and build a thriving digital economy. Promote widespread e-government services to improve transparency, efficiency, and citizen engagement. We're not all reading, some are not reading the other side. Upon ethical digital governance, transparency, and a protection of citizens' data. Connect government offices and public institutions with high-speed broadband to strengthen service delivery. Strengthen partnership between government, industry, academia, and civil society to drive sustainable impact. This is not a ceremonial pledge. It is a solemn commitment, a commitment to act, to collaborate, and to lead our province confidently into a digital future. Let this moment be remembered as the beginning of a decade of digital progress, grounded in justice, driven by innovation, and shaped by the collective will of the people of KwaZulu-Natal. Iklasi elifunda kancane kanje. Ngiyamangala ngoba sekuyabhalwa nama exams ukuthi leli class lo wenze njani, lo phasa yini.
Well, thank you so much. The Premier had indicated that he would be leaving, so we would ask that the Premier, the MEC, and the partners, if they could please pass by the exhibition. As we know, they are leaving, the exhibition is right in the next hall, so as they exit the hall, they will pass by exhibition. Siyabonga kakhulu. A big round of applause for the keynote address delivered by Premier Luthuli. The next session, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be a panel discussion with the stakeholders who will be panelists. But to take us there, we do need to digest with a bit of music. So we're going to invite our esteemed performing group from the University of Zululand just to give us another musical item as we transition into the panel discussion. Yes, I'm going to ask that we support them and be attentive. So the first performance is going to be Ihubo from the late Princess Magogo. So the rendition done by the youth, the choir, especially Hlombe.
Owagibele libomvu ngamthanda. Owagibele libomvu ngamthanda we. Ngamthanda.
Emaweni webaba, emaweni webaba, emaweni webaba, emaweni webaba siyolala emaweni. Emaweni webaba, emaweni webaba, emaweni webaba, usekolo nomathe akasabhali nencwadi encane. Usekolo nomathemba 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 akasabhali nencwadi encane. Awobuya, awobuya nomathemba wami. Awobuya, awobuya nomathemba wami. Awobuya, wenomathemba, wenomathemba, wasaqabana yini. Awobuya, wenomathemba, wenomathemba, wasaqabana yini. Usemnambithi, unomathemba, yakasabhali nencwadi encane. Usemnambithi, useGoli, akasabhali nencwadi encane. UseGoli unomathemba, yakasabhali nencwadi encane. UseGoli unomathemba, yakasabhali nencwadi encane. Awobuya, wenomathemba, wenomathemba, wasaqabana yini. Awobuya, wenomathemba, wenomathemba, wasaqabana yini. Awusemnambithi, yena useGoli, wenomathemba, wasaqabana yini. Awusemnambithi, yena useGoli, akasabhali nencwadi encane. Oh, hello, hello. Wenomathemba, wasaqabana yini. Hey, baby girl. Hey, beautiful girl. Sing. Hey, 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 beautiful girl. Before I'm going, come along to kiss me. Before I'm going, don't you kiss me, nice, nice. Before I'm going, don't you kiss me, nice, nice. Before I'm going, come along, come along, come along. You. Hello, 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 my baby. Hello, 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 my baby. Hello, 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 my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, hello. Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my sweetie pie. Hello, my baby. My baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my sweetie pie. Oh, hello, 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 my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, 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 my baby. Hello, my baby. Don't you meditate, sing. Don't you meditate. I sent a messenger to tell you that I want to meet you at the station. Come along to kiss me. Before I'm going, come along to kiss me. Before I'm going, don't you kiss me, nice. Before I'm going, don't you kiss me, nice. Before I'm going, come along. Let's go to Basotho.
Jonna nawe
Hey, siyanamukela. Hey, welcome to KZN. Hey, siyanamukela. Hey, hey, welcome to KZN. How siyanamukela. Oh yeah, welcome to KZN. Hey, siyanamukela. Oh yeah, welcome. zodaka. Hey, ngoma ngabizinde zodaka. Hey, mntana ngikusekhaya la. Hey, ngikusekhaya la. Hey, hey. Hey, mntana ngikusekhaya la. Hey, ngikusekhaya la. Hey, hey, mntana. Hey, ayikhale bafana. Hey, ayikhale baphem. Kulinda u-12 uyena kuleti. Bafana kuleti. Ayikhale bafana. Hey, ayikhale baphem. Kulinda u-12 uyena kuleti. Bafana kuleti. Ayikhale baphem. Ahuma ulibhinga awuhlabeka bili. Hey, awuhlabeka thathu besibheka le ukhuzishi. Wena ukhuzishi. Ayikhale baphe. Ahuma ulibhinga awuhlabeka bili. Hey, awuhlabeka thathu besibheka le ukhuzishi. Ukhuzishi. Besu shona phansi. Besu shona phansi. Hey, be. Usu. Hey, usu. Hey, be. Usu. Hey, usu. Babenga. Pi. Babenga. Pi wona. Babenga pi. Hey, be. Sebe.
All right, Siyabonga. We have come to the session, panel discussion. We heard from the political leaders laying the vision and the panelists, thank you. The panelist will be Dr. Sandile Mbata, who is the founder, SM Digital Africa. So, Dr. Mbata, we would like you to join us on stage, together with Heritema, who is the DDG, South African National Statistics System, Stats SA. So, Ms. Tema, please come forward, please. As well as Ms. Helen North, the Chief Director, Policy and Research in the Office of the Premier, and Dr. Ray Ravudzulo, Director, Public Sector Business at Microsoft. And our moderator for this will be Dr. Ntabe Nijere, who is the Lecturer, Computer Science at UKZN. Is Dr. Jerry here? Here he comes. All right. We have other activities happening, so we will ask that we stick to the time allocated. So this session is 30 minutes. So from 10:35, we should be wrapping up at 11:05. Over to you, Doctor.
Thank you very much. So, to start off with, the music was very nice, and it's led me into making a confession before we start today's session. So I've got two confessions. The first one is, while I was getting settled, I happened to overhear a conversation from some colleagues. Please don't blame me. It's not like I enjoy listening to people's conversations, but my ears are big. So, very interesting terminologies came out. These colleagues were saying, let us learn, one, and let us share. And to me, that actually symbolizes the core of these kind of forums where we all come together, is the idea of learning from each other and the idea of sharing from each other, firstly. The second confession comes from, it's a childhood memory. So last week, I was at a conference very similar to this kind of setting, and my responsibility was also similar. This responsibility, I was asked to chair the session, and in chairing the session, they gave me a bell. Now this bell, I'm supposed to ring for my panelists to stay within time. Now what happened is I was very passionate, and they didn't understand where this passion was coming from, but in actual fact, I was raised in a very Catholic home, so I was an altar boy at church, and one of those responsibilities of an altar boy, which is the priest's assistant, is to ring the bell during service. So I was very diligent with my work last week, and I'm working in my office. I get an email asking me to do a similar responsibility today. Before I finished reading the email, I said, yes, I'm coming, so that I can have this opportunity to ring the bell again. Now, ever since I came in the morning, I've been looking for the bell, and I can't see it. So program director, I'd like to lay a grievance. Now, to begin today's session, I would like to begin by saying the following. Program director, the Honorable Premier of KwaZulu-Natal, Honorable Luthuli, His Worship the Mayor of eThekwini Metropolitan Municipality, Councillor Xaba, Chairperson of the KwaZulu-Natal Provincial House of Tradition and Khoisan, leaders, Inkosi Shinga, the Director, Acting Director General of the Province of KwaZulu-Natal, honorable members of the Executive Council, MECs, esteemed Directors General, heads of departments, and senior government officials, distinguished representatives from the private sector and industry partners, and members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Now, I'd like to open today's conversation by saying it's a great pleasure to welcome you all to this panel discussion on big data analytics implementation within provincial government. And today's conversation, I think, sits at the heart of public sector transformation. How do we move from simply collecting various amounts of data to actually using it to drive smarter decisions, improved service delivery, and strengthen accountability? In an era where information is power, data is one of the government's most valuable assets. So when we look at from departments, health to transportation, education to social development, these departments gather enormous volumes of information on a day-to-day basis. Yet the challenge we continue to face is the ability to turn data into insights and moving from insight to actually action. So part of this summit, in its broader sense, is to focus on data analytics and digital transformation. This panel will explore how big data analytics can help us design better policies, improve efficiency, and ultimately enhance citizens' quality of life. I'm joined by a distinguished group of experts and practitioners who each bring a wealth of experience from different parts of the ecosystem, and we're talking about the private sector, the public sector, and also from the policy space. So I'd like you to join me again in welcoming Dr. Ray Ravuduro, who is the Director of Public Sector Business at Microsoft, Dr. Sandile Mbata, the Founder and Chief Solutions Officer at SM Digital Africa, and Ms. Helen North, the Chief Director Policy and Research at the Office of the Premier. And then we also have Mr. Harry Tema, the Deputy Director General of the South African National Statistics Systems, Stats SA. So thank you for being here, all of us, and let's dive straight into the conversation by first unpacking what is big data analytics. What does it really mean in the public sector context? And not just as a buzzword, but as a tool for transforming, or rather transformation and better governance. Would any of the panelists like to take this?
Yeah, sure. I can kick off, and standing on a protocol already observed, so I don't have to observe it. I think in government it's even more critical that we utilize data to make decisions, because we've got at least 70 odd million people. Sorry, Harriet Tema, whether you've counted some of those or not, that we have to make decisions for. We also have to know where the money is going. We have to know who we're planning for, and there's a whole lot of data that's been created by citizens to bring it to the level where we could use it to make informed decisions. But we also have a responsibility, and I think the public sector, and I'm not in the public sector anymore, so I can declare that, but the public sector has a responsibility to be transparent. How are you transparent without data and showing what you are currently doing? Where are you spending the money? Where are you delivering services? For who are you delivering these services? So there's a whole lot of issues around accountability, building efficiency around implementing programs in government that requires data so that we don't make the decisions we've made. People who worked on the Arrive Alive campaign are often uncomfortable when I ask a question: what data drove the decision to have the Arrive Alive campaign and say speed kills? Does really speed kills? Is it a speed, or is it inability of people to drive and follow the rules? There was no data-driven decision, but we poured millions, and we still have a body count every December, despite all the millions of Arrive Alive, Don't Drink and Drive, primarily because we didn't use the data to drive the decision that we made to invest. And there's many other examples that you can see in government where it is either a thumbs up, some sentiments that are put in, and people then make those decisions. So it isn't more profound because we also have limited resources, so we have to be very economical with the resources that we have, but data can enable us to do that. So it's a starting point.
Absolutely. Thank you.
H?
Would you like me to add?
Yes, please.
All right. You see, we need to look at it, maybe if we can agree on the definition and what it covers more in the public administration. Because if you look at it, it refers to the process of collecting, analyzing, interpreting vast complex data set, often from multiple sources to improve the decision-making policy formulation. But what we need to look at is across all the public institutions in government. Today, we generate more data than any other point in South Africa's democratic history through the systems and programs and services that we are having as government. Yet, the challenge has shifted. We are having more challenges now. So in the past, the struggle was the issue of access or availability of data. So this thing, it goes beyond the normal record keeping. It is about extracting insights that shapes decision. I think Dr. Mbata, with the example that he gave, indicated that we need to have insights so that we can shape our decisions going forward. So the real issue is whether the data is usable, clean, connected, and fit for purpose. So that is where the big data analysis becomes central to the future of governments, as it enables government to interpret, integrate, and apply data in ways that can improve planning, service delivery, policy design, and accountability.
Thank you. And would you say how different is this data analytics approach? How different is it to the traditional data systems and reporting structure that we've used for decades? Would you like to?
I think for me, and just to add on the previous point, government collects a lot of data, as we said, and if we've spent money collecting data, we also have a responsibility to use it, share it, like Dr. Mbata said, be transparent. But it's critical for targeting, it's critical for transparency, and to really make visible results happen. So you want to see evidence and action. I think in terms of your question, can you repeat the...
So I was asking how different are
How
these?
different?
Yes.
So it's extremely different, and I think, Mr. Temba, your point about having data that's fit for purpose, unfortunately big data is very rarely fit for purpose. It's very messy. So to move from traditional data, or survey collected data, which is quite clean and it's quite manageable and quite stable, to data where you're going to have a lot more mess, and been having to find skilled people who are able to make that data consumable and also avoid any risk of making decisions based on flawed data, because that data could be telling you things which are not necessarily true. So there's a lot of work that has to go into that.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. So I think that's definitely a key point. And moving on from the actual data, collection of data-driven decision-making requires a real cultural shift, not just about technology, but it's about culture also. Government departments collect massive amounts of data, like the panel was just alluded to, on a day-to-day basis, but yet much of it remains underutilized. How do we then move from just collecting data to actually using it to improve service delivery and decision-making? Would you like to?
Yeah, before I do, let me just check how much time do I have.
Unfortunately, I don't have a bell, but
I heard you speak about the bell, so I
yes.
thought how much time?
The session is supposed to be 30 minutes,
Okay, no, I
and
won't.
we also need to leave time for,
All
so
right,
20
no.
minutes.
Yeah, I think it's fairly fair. So the data that's collected across spheres of government, and I'll speak from a point of what and how we are currently assisting government. At the center of it is that government data, or any data that is collected is no longer just a byproduct. It's the lifeblood of that particular organization. And if you look at service delivery holistically, take, for example, a Department of Water, compare it to the police, Department of Transport. These are entities, if you look at them, that are in customer service. And the question that we need to ask is to say, if government is in the business of customer service or citizen service, how best can they maintain high customer satisfaction scores? And I think across all of us and everybody sitting in the room, we may agree that we face various challenges, whether it's from a municipal statement point of view, errors there, whether it is from a security point of view, from a social security agency, whether the payments are done on time and all of that. At the center of the service delivery is to say, how do we make the data best utilized by government? And from a Microsoft point of view, that's where we partner with all spheres of government to help in classifying the type of data and ensuring that the data that has been collected is secure, and in really ensuring that the objective of government, which is to provide services, is attained through this data. So I'll leave it there for now. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Are there contributions?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay, this thing doesn't work anymore.
you're
It's
on.
fine. Oh, is it working? Sorry, I can't hear myself. I think the starting point is building trust around the use of data. So how do you build trust around the use of data? You demystify data, because otherwise it looks like a technical tool that sits there that only Helens and Balis and others can work with. Firstly, by returning to the very fact that every decision we've made as human society has always been based on data. The only difference is it was not digitized. A decision on who to marry was a data point on the family. On where to graze your cattle was a data point on what kind of grass is there, and many other things, on what food to plant and cultivate. When we go back to that very rudimentary, basic level of a data point, we bring a lot of people with us. Because otherwise we can show a very fancy dashboard, and it always leaves a lot of people behind, and people don't feel that they're part and parcel of that. So that's a demystification process that we need to go through, of saying, if you make decisions, on your own personal decisions, on where to locate yourself, which house to buy, where to buy, what, those are data points. Why don't you do the same thing at institutional level? We have to make decisions with public sector money, right? That's one point. The next thing is around the trust building. We've got to trust the data, right? When the data starts to be taken and utilized for sort of narrow gains and narrow narratives, as we've seen in the past, you lose a lot of people on the way. So I think there's a massive effort that is required from the public sector in particular to start building trust around the data that's put out there, right? The whole misinformation and all those kind of things are something that are very disruptive So we need institutions like the Statistics South Africa and other organizations to start putting data that is trusted and can be trusted out there. But every time we do that, we've got to ask ourselves a question that I love so much in the work I do, is a so what question. You've got the data, you extracting insights, so what? How does that empower citizens? How does that change the life of citizens? If you said to citizens, if I have information on your meter every month, it means I will bill you accurately. There will be no incorrect billing. So I need that data. That is just one example, very basic example. So I think there's a lot of effort that needs to be done in the demystification process, and then the trust. And of course, there's technical sort of trust building exercise that needs to be done in terms of data governance, transparency, protection of information, and so forth. But that needs to happen within a practical process of saying, in order for us to deliver better services as the state, you've got to give us the data. I think Harry will talk at some point maybe about the difficulty they have in collecting statistics in this country and people being chased by dogs and not being let in, because the public doesn't trust that the information that is being collected will actually assist government to make better decisions. So government has a responsibility to utilize, demonstrate the use of data to make informed decisions and to save the money that is trusted on them in terms of how they deliver services. Then the public will start to trust the data, and the culture of the use of data will start to change.
Thanks. Thank you very much. I'd like to focus on, from a stats SA perspective, how are you building trust in this data, the data sets that you have?
I set him up.
All right. Trust is not something that you just get in a day or two. So starting from our Statistics Act number 6 of 1999, there were some challenges that we're picking up. We went ahead and started the process of amending our act so that we can strengthen the coordination. As Dr. Mbata indicated, that as Stats SA, we are not the only producer of official statistics, and that say that all of us as producers and users of statistics, we need to work together. So the Amendment Act that has been with effect from the 1st of October this month, it's more strengthening the coordination so that we can build trust in all our stakeholders. And in there are some tools that as a statistician general has put in place to ensure that there is trust in the data that is produced, not only by Stats SA, but by other NSS entities, where now there's a quality assessment framework that if your product has went through that quality assessment framework, which we call it a SASCAF, it will be fit for purpose. And we have made it even much more easier that you can do an online service at your comfort of your department, whether you are in water, whether you are whatever, working with all partners to make sure that if we have quality statement and ensure the quality of the data from all the producers, then there will be trust in the data and that data can be used.
Thank you. So I'd like us to pivot a little bit here and looking at what can we learn from the private sector coming into government. So private sector has seen a lot of strong results from big data analytics. This is from things like predictive analysis, and we've seen efficiency gains in systems that we're building. What can the public sector learn from those experiences, and what are the key pillars that enable successful implementation in a government environment? Helen?
That's such an interesting question. I think, the rationale of private sector versus the rationale of government is, of course, two different things. So private sector is in the pursuit of profit, and government is obviously in the pursuit of service delivery. But part of that is being economic in how you do it. I always look at a company like Discovery, which I started running because of Discovery, and I don't like exercise. But they made it worth my while, and I'm so much healthier now, and I cost Discovery less because I changed my unhealthy habits for healthy ones because they motivated me.
Value proposition.
So there's a lot to be learned, and it's also the same with the policy sort of landscape. It's about ultimately human behavior that you have to influence. So making a case to change how things are being done is definitely one of the things that we can learn from private sector. But I think where government is always going to face massive challenges is that private sector can afford to recruit skill and retain skill, and government is in a very precarious situation in terms of being agile enough. The skill set's changing by the month, and we literally can't keep up. As we ever make a mistake, like I used to work with Stats SA, so I know the organization well. It's a highly professional, highly specialized environment. And I find that we're now having to duplicate many of these skills in government, and government is not, by definition, a data collection organization. So there's lots of challenges in that transfer. But I think for private sector, there's a lot of very amazing cases as to how they've really made data make a lot of economic sense.
Thank you. I think you touch on a very interesting point, is a point of collaboration, you know, in how we can sort of like cross-pollinate ideas and learn from the different partners like private sector. Maybe I can turn to Dr. Ray here.
Yeah.
I would like to bring this into you. Do you think leadership plays a role in this cross-pollination and bringing in the idea of better implementation of these systems?
Absolutely, absolutely, Doc. I think besides leadership being a key success factor, there's a couple of other ingredients that would enable digital transformation and data use in general. The first one that comes to mind is the aspect of the actual technology, so what technology is being utilized. The second part is then around skilling. So do we have the right skills to be able to implement whatever it is that we've set out in terms of the objectives? And the last one would then be perhaps around the digital economy, which would then also speak a little bit to sustainability. From a leadership point of view, of course, what goes hand in hand with that is some of the guardrails that need to be in place. So from a data governance point of view, from a direction of where the particular organization is going, some of those decisions need to be taken by leadership, of course, in collaboration with the various teams that are working on that data. Leadership support and involvement is also very key, and I was very pleased to see the pledge being signed today to say that from the highest level within the province, there's buy-in from the leaders. So leadership plays quite a key role, which would then inform some of the digital economy initiatives that are being identified to make sure that those become a reality. Of course, skilling, given that this technology is new, skilling becomes a key priority, which would require each and every one of us to support each other in that learning process.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So I'd like to pivot to you, Mr. Tema here. And the question specifically, we're looking ahead. Now, in terms of looking ahead, what practical steps should government prioritize to make data analytics a reality? Are there any practical steps that you can think of? And especially when it comes to dealing with legacy systems, we heard the Premier actually talk about this, and these siloed environments. So just to go over this, I would like to ask the question, what practical steps should government prioritize to make big data analytics a reality?
Well, that's something that all of us as partners in what we normally refer to as the National Statistics System, that we need to work together in getting to that. There are more three core things that I can think of to say we need a national roadmap or a governance framework. Now, in that, the Statistics Amendment Act actually, it creates a legal foundation for integration and coordination, because we need to stop our silo operation in terms of the data and everything. We need to make the data more interoperable and be in a position to get integrate. So we're gonna have what you call a national strategy for the development of statistics as a strategic roadmap for the country. Now, the application of the SASCAFO by all NSS entities, the production of statistical plans, reports, and coordination structures, those are the things that will help us to start working together. All of us utilizing what we call the integrated indicator framework, which is making sure that all the sectors are aligned by using common definitions, indicators, metadata, etc., so that we all contribute to the indicators of national importance. Because if there's still a lot of duplication across different sectors, we won't be in a position to can do this. But apart from that, alignment alone is not enough. So we need these interoperable platforms, shared data protocols, accountability mechanism, and standard that can show compatibility and access across the state as a whole. Now, that is more systems that we need to build to the future. But in order for that to work, we need to make sure that there's human capital and data literacy. So the development of statistical units within all the sectors, all the role players, it's critical, so that those can be capacitated to can make sure that there's data integration and usage across.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Are there any contributions, Dr. Sandeep?
Yeah, I'll link it to the previous one, because I think it's an important point that Dr. Ray was raising around, your question on how the private sector could learn from public sector could learn from the private sector. I think as a starting point, the public sector needs to understand one equation, and that's what I think to a large degree the private sector has understood. You function in a 40-40-20. It's 40% people, it's a 40% process, and only 20% technology. Government has a tendency to think that you can digitize inefficiency. Cannot digitize inefficiency. Can do digital transformation, digitize inefficiency is still the same. If you do not change the culture and the people within the system, capacitate them to be able to make decisions, to understand what they're doing, then you have a problem. When government stops being a bottom feeder, and I use the word bottom feeder very respectfully, is that these are, usually you will find people who will otherwise not be employed anywhere else being employed in government. And that has to change as part of the digital transformation. Sorry, I wanted to answer that phone call. Please let us know what they say. Now we have interest. And then you've got to sort out your processes. The fact that I can submit something digitally and it still takes the same number of weeks or days or months to be responded to, it doesn't help. You've just simply digitized a problem. So it's not going to help. If this digital transformation of KZN is going to work, there has to be more Helens in the Premier's office. You can't, in the office of Premier, you have to have capacity, but the right capacity. Not just capacity because you have warm bodies, but people who can have the ability, but who also has the will to change things and utilize the data to inform decision making. I think Baptema has already touched on the issue of collaboration. Government, I'm going to say this because it always sounds insulting, but it's actually not meant as that, right? It's meant provocatively. If you want anything to be done and done poorly, leave it to government alone. But if you really want government to work and work efficiently, you have to build partnerships. And that has to be done through building ecosystems. Digital ecosystems, data ecosystems, meaning that all of government and all of society approach has to be applied in the implementation of digital transformation. So it can't be just government has to do it by themselves, because the reality of it is that government does not have a capacity to innovate in certain instances because it's a very difficult and complex environment. So these are some of the things that I think are important.
Thank you very much. And Helen, I would like to rope you in here. What would you think your comment would be around breaking down these silos within different government departments in the sense of implementing these data analytics systems?
So for starters, you're never going to be able to take your data custodians away, and it's more about creating the conduits so that your data custodians are in a position, health can share what only needs to be shared with whichever line department or with Office of the Premier. But I think the other critical thing is trust. So if you're in Department of Health and you don't really trust, or you're worried as to how this information is going to be interpreted, or it could reflect badly on the department, there's a lot of trust issues, and don't even get me started on our citizens who don't trust us either. When we put a digital job application system in, people still submitted their applications manually, which meant we actually had double the work because now we had a digital copy and a paper copy. So there's a huge amount of trust that has to be built. And that can also, you can spend a long time building that trust and it can be shattered in an instance. So
You
there's
actually, yes, you raise a very interesting question, and this question on trust, I'd like to leverage on that. As we innovate with our data, we also carry a responsibility, like you've just mentioned, you've talked about, is the idea of maintaining transparency and trust. So the question that would come is how, what sort of safeguards would you recommend that would put in place to actually build this trust?
So the guardrails are very important, and it's a fantastic question. So we have got 2 seconds to answer it, so it's going to really be fun to try and do that. Is that, firstly, people have to be able to opt in and opt out in the data they share. You stand on a queue with 500 other people, because our queues are long, on the counter, because there's a glass and a window. The teller, usually private sector, public sector space, what's your ID number? And I start 83031, sorry, it's in my head, I'll say it, sorry, now you know when I was born. 9929, okay, now I'm changing it too late. You are shouting your ID number in the queue because our systems don't allow that. But also when you've captured, when the information is captured, in this country, there is no expiry of the information being kept. You go into these fancy estates, you are being asked for your ID and they're scanned, and no one tells you where information will go. So I think those are the things we need to change and not normalize giving our ID, giving our information loosely like that. So I think that's how you're going to start building trust, allowing people to, I have my pen.
Okay, so I think for the sake of time, there's no bell, but I've been given the signal. I'd like to open this conversation for 2 quick questions from the audience to participate. Are there any questions with regards to the conversation that has been had? Are there any takers? Yes.
Oh, no. 3, 10, 2.
Yes, there's supposed
Mic.
roving mic.
Good day, how's it guys? Thanks for the discussion, number one. But yeah, just a question on the issue of data silos, right? Because most of the time what we've seen is that it's not really a collection problem, but it's also a integration challenge or integration barrier, in the sense that there's a barrier between like integrating data that's collected through like legacy systems, or it's on paper, and then some is in applications and whatnot. So that, how do we circumvent that? Because I think that's the biggest challenge that can then allow us to then collect this data and consolidate it, and then allow governments to make data-driven decisions.
Yeah, look, I think what I did want to touch on as well is going back to the aspect of governance and also dealing with the silos. On the aspect of governance, I think what government has done through the DCDT is now driving what is called a national AI policy. So we've got to start there. That would then define what does the road ahead look like. So through a national AI kind of policy that's now in place, that puts the very first guardrails. From a KZN province, I'm aware that the province has also embarked on a journey to define a cloud policy. And within that cloud policy, what other aspects of cloud, including AI and other different types of technology, need to then be included. Specifically on siloed data, there's a key drive in terms of interagency collaboration or interdepartmental, interprovincial collaboration. If you look at where we want to go as a province and as a country as well, we need to get to a single identity where I can access my services, whether municipal, traffic, et cetera, from a single platform. But yeah, I'm pressed for time and I see that bell is ringing.
Thank you so much. A quick one, 30 seconds.
When you digitize, you have to have people in mind. When someone owns the data and they've been running that data for the past 20 years, and you say to them, share that data, it makes them feel that they are now not important. So when you are making sure that, or pulling the data into one, you've got to bring the people with you and understand how their data will become important when it's added to other data set. In fact, a data set alone is actually useless. If you have a water data set alone, is useless without population data, without geography, without those kind of things. To capacitate people to understand that they are adding value by contributing their data to others, but you cannot leave them behind and say, no, just put into a system, then you become unimportant, because you then bruise their data egos.
Thank you very much. Can we have one last quick question and we can wind up.
Hi. It's not a question per se, but it's on the digital integration issue. It's not that people don't trust the digital platforms, it's because people don't know how to use them. So majority of people, whenever they have to fill up those online information, they don't know how to do it. So they prefer going to the place and delivering it manually. And also, in order to have full digital literacy, we have to first fix the basic fundamentals of literacy. Because in South Africa, a huge percentage of our population is illiterate. So how can we achieve that if the basic fundamentals of literacy have not been achieved?
Thank you very much. Helen, a quick one, 30 seconds.
It's such an important point, and it speaks very much to the KZN transformation strategy because it's about equalizing that divide. I always remember when I was at Stats SA and we had census, and to apply for a job, you had to apply on our online portal. There was no option to go paper. And I thought it was very controversial at the time. And we did suffer. Rural areas, we didn't get enough applications. But what was kind of good about it and what was bold about it is it was just saying we're taking paper away as an option. So it's how do we make it work? How do we then get into rural areas? How do we make sure that everyone has equal access? So I think that's one of the things that government has to start doing is just to be bold, but putting the scaffolding in place so that we allow everybody to have equal participation.
Thank you very much. So as we wrap up, colleagues, just a few themes that stand out in today's conversation. Firstly is that big data analytics is not just about the technology, but it's also about the governance and the culture and the people. Secondly, also, we need to think critically about breaking down these silos, and we need to invest in people, as some of the comments that have come out of here. And also the third aspect is the idea of collaboration. There has to be collaboration between private sector and public sector. Then I also want us to close by actually acknowledging the potential, the immense potential that big data has. And it's very important that we get onto this, and we need to start thinking about the idea of turning this data into insights, and from these insights into action, so that we can be able to make evidence-based decisions. So on behalf of the organizers, I'd like to say thank you to our panelists for sharing their time and expertise with us. And to you all who were engaged in the conversation, unfortunately, we didn't have enough time. This kind of conversation probably needs about an hour or more, but we did our best with what we had. So thank you very much for the critical engagement. And colleagues, help me in putting our hands together for our panelists.
Thank you to our panelists, and I have to thank Dr. Jerry for a job well done. Thank you so much. Let's give them another big round of applause. Thank you. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to invite our next speaker. And if you look at the time, we are not doing badly, because this session was supposed to run until 11:05, so we're slightly running behind, but we will manage that accordingly, trust me. The next speaker is going to take us through the introduction to public service data governance. Mr. Mandla Ngcobo is the Chief Information Officer at the Department of Public Service and Administration. Mapoloba.
Can I also stand on the protocols established already in the interest of time? And I think I've kind of learned from the previous discussion, so I'll try to be as quick as I can. But I don't see the presentation flighted yet, but I think before that, as introduced, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mandla Ngcobo, coming from DPSA, which is the Department of Public Service and Administration. The department, if you want to think of it, is charged with the responsibility to regulate numerous issues in government, whether it's people issues, whether it's service delivery, and then IT is part of those. As indicated, while we're still waiting for a projection, the minister gets her mandate from pieces of legislation and law, as you would imagine. So for instance, Public Service Act, Section 3 talks about the need for ministers to establish norms and standards. On information management. On information management, on e-government, but also on innovation. So in line with that, therefore, activities had to be, the minister had to ensure that we comply with that responsibility. But I kind of thought that as part of the conversation today, one of the important things is to kind of cite an existing case. Colleagues, whether we know or not, ladies and gentlemen, early this year, as part of trying to manage budget, the National Treasury was drawn into a court, and we lost the case as government. What was the attempt? What was the issue? So, as part of trying to manage the 350 grants, as you know them, so the minister was trying to ensure that at least eligible people are able to receive the grants, so that the mindless of this world, who are employed, who are economically active, don't benefit. Long story short, precisely based on the data quality and how data is managed, government lost the case. I don't think I want to be kind of reading this verbatim, but basically the judge took a decision to say, given the inequalities, given the gaps in how you go about and manage data, including your systems, you can therefore not be able to determine who qualifies and who doesn't. And why am I bringing this up? I'm trying to emphasize the importance of managing data, to say it's a question of time, because much more important decisions are taken and we are found even much more wanting. Obviously, in line with this, we then had to, I'm not sure it's not moving up. We then had to conduct what is called a DMMI. So again, I won't dwell much on this to say, given the responsibility of the minister, it was important then that the maturity management assessment be conducted. And it was conducted following some of the best practices, CMMI. Numerous issues came up. This thing is kind of making me to struggle, I don't know why. Numerous issues came up that have been spoken about, for instance, by the previous panel, around poor integration, around quality, around data sources, so many issues that came up. So what was this? So we went to various government departments using an online tool. We then got the feedback. It was analyzed. So many things came up. Now, obviously, as a response, a public service data governance framework was issued this year. And what drives it? It's outcome of the DMMA. But importantly, when there's a conversation that says data is important for policy making, for decision making, obviously we had to make that real. So these are some of the reasons why, for instance, we had to publish the framework itself. I mean, issues of quality, it has been spoken about. You apply for a government service, it can be an ID or whatever, you come back, the gender or the name or everything is wrong. So how do you ensure that there is accountability? You bring about governance. So improving quality of data, given the garbage in, garbage out. Okay. Long story short, what is the idea of the framework? As indicated, time is not against, is against all of us here. Basically, to institutionalize. Again, I want to emphasize this. Yes, some of us here are going to find this more interesting than others, given where we're working, but we need to institutionalize it. So the directive, basically, is directed to departments to institutionalize it. So what do? Ensuring that there's kind of a control around the management of data and authority as well. So below are then the outcomes if the framework is working okay, as expected to work. Okay. The section talks to the scope. Again, I won't dwell. You would appreciate that there's public administration in the public service. So national and provincial departments is the scope for now. In terms of another piece of legislation that brings local government into the space, which is PAMA, that is exactly where we're working towards, but gradually. So not just local and not just national and provincial, but also all the data sets. You would know that sometimes we work with third parties to help government to either collect or store or process. The directive is applicable as well to those data sets. So it's not a question of who has It's not a question of who have you utilized to do your activity around management of data. And then again, I won't spend much time on this. It's around the principles. How are you going to ensure that management of data in the public service is important? I think here, with the pledge having been signed, having decision makers in government, there's nothing that supersedes leadership and strategy. I mean, a comment by Dr. Mbata to say, how was Arrive Alive conceptualized? Were we correct in saying speed kills, for instance? So it's important for vision to be established, but also data is not an IT issue. It's a business issue. It's what you want to achieve. Again, as you can see, all the other principles around shared responsibility, but importantly, principle-based. Now, I won't bore you much on this one, again, part of our work, to say you start from the ground, you go up. Issues around governance are important, but architecture, quality, and metadata, there was a question of ensuring how to ensure integration. One of the important things that we must do then is standards. Now, once we've got governance in place, to ensure that there are various kinds of standards around quality, around metadata. I was excited to hear that some work has been done by State SA. So what it means that obviously collaboration is key. Now, what are some of the practical and important organizational shifts or changes that the directive is bringing? For instance, each and every department will have to have a data governance committee. So this is a committee whose daily activities, obviously it's going to not meet daily, but in specific schedules, the focus is on data. But also importantly, there must be a data governance office. Now, obviously as part of the process, a lot of feedback we got, where are we going to get money, who's likely to form part of the office. But already we are saying people must be appointed. We are saying data is collected in each and every government department, whether it's a planning unit, whether it's a risk unit, where there is concentration of data. They must play that role as an initiation, but also the appointment of an office. So that office is going to be headed by the chief data officer, so to speak, as a leader, supported by people in the governance space, in the analytics space, in the administration of data and operation and storage. So the various roles and responsibilities. So this is a really big shift when you think of it. Why? Precisely because if data is a responsibility for everybody, and it must drive all government decisions, it can then not be left to certain individuals. It's a joint responsibility. So this is introducing some major changes in the public service, and obviously the test and the interesting part is when you're trying to ensure that you actually enforce and implement the changes. Part of the shifts and the changes is to establish what is called, or introduce what is called the models. Because we cannot create all the time, precisely because the role for data belongs to all of us. Therefore, if you're heading a program in government, Arrive Alive, you must then become a data owner. Why? You understand the data sets you're looking for, you understand the decisions that you're supposed to make. And if you think of it, then it means that the office is going to be headed by the chief data officer, have the roles, but those are going to interface with business. Now, this model talks to business, as one to think of it. So headed by the, as in the program era, headed by the data owner, there's a data steward, there's a custodian, 9 out of 10 times an IT person, got all the platforms to ensure the data is seated there, but then also the user. So that some of the changes that we're kind of proposing that departments must approach. I think we're moving towards the end, and as we move towards the end is, again, there's been some thought in terms of how are we going to ensure that we implement this. So without delving much into this busy slide, we're saying, for instance, change management is important. So people have been doing their work. We've been thinking that data, for instance, is some kind of a byproduct of some applications, and we're saying going forward, it is not that. It is what you need for you to take a decision, for you to develop a policy, right? Therefore, change management is important, but secondly, a program management approach. When will what be done? in the context of data management. When are you going to formulate the committee? When are you going to appoint people? And there are timelines that have been given. For instance, around the appointment, departments are given not more than 24 months. So immediately you designate. After 24 months, you kind of appoint. Now, what have you done to ensure that this is complied with? We have worked with many stakeholders. Part of those stakeholders is the Auditor General, for instance, and they are very much interested in the work that we're doing in the data space. And we have said it's still early days. We're still trying to communicate, including even this opportunity. At some stage, 24 months or so, then departments are supposed to be audited on that. I think after this direction, nothing much except to say, obviously it's going to be a program and a process of various phases, starting from the establishment of roles and responsibilities of the government. So really the next few slides, there was a comment around what must be done, what is the program. The next few slides is nothing else except to say it's just the detail of the previous one in terms of what was happening in the various phases. Obviously, with departments having received the directive, they see this, they understand, but they're also there to kind of provide support. Now, what is way forward as we see it, for instance, obviously collaborations. Some of you might know that in May this year, there was a launch of the roadmap for the transformation of public services, launched through presidency. Certain deliverables that are there. One of them is the establishment of the National Data Governance Committee. National does not mean national government. It means that everyone must be involved. Right? Consequently, we've had engagement with DPM as a department. We're having continuous engagement with Stats SA. I mean, colleagues from Western Cape were interacting with them around this, given the road that they've traveled around the space. So the idea is that the committee must be instituted, in place, then have its own program. But obviously, part of the outcomes as well from the roadmap is to say, DPSA, you are responsible for the human aspect of the public service. So ensure that, for instance, as part of the skills development, you help us. But secondly, how do we ensure that the targets as they relate to digital exist in the personal agreements of everybody? So right from the accounting officer or the HOD, we will have that. So it's background work that is currently taking place to ensure that we've got clear, measurable targets for each and every one of us. And then obviously implementation support. We have received some requests from two departments. We're standardizing that now to say we want to establish the office. How do we go about? So we've defined the roles, we've defined the functions of each and every the responsibility, so to speak. I think, Chair, Program Director, thanks very much for the opportunity. As indicated, I'm trying to kind of ensure that I stick to time and potentially save some of the time for us. Thanks very much.
That was eye-opening, and thank you so much for that detailed report. And remember, after lunch, we do have a networking session. Some of these presentations, I do know that we would like to access them, so I'm sure our speakers and panelists would definitely make them available for us. If you can identify the name of the speaker, we'll be able to assist towards the end of day one for you to get access to their presentations. I would like to take you back to the panel that we had prior to inviting Mr. Ngobo. We had a panel discussion that was moderated by Dr. Ajere, and we would like to have the demo sessions done by Dr. Mbata, Helen North, Nombali Kambule. So if I could get their indication if they are ready. We have just 15 minutes allocated for them just to take us through the demo. That session has 15 minutes. So if I could ask all of them to come to the stage, and then they'll be able to share in the 15 minutes that we have allocated for such. Dr. Sandile Mbata is the founder, SM Digital Africa from National Strategic Hub. And then Helen North is the Chief Director for Research, Policy and Research in the Office of the Premier. And Umbali Kambule is a Policy Analyst from eThekwini Strategic Hub. Thank you.
Well, you take 2 minutes. You've been talking. Do you want to start? I'm starting. Can I start? Okay, I don't know if it's afternoon or it's morning. My name is Umbalenhle Kambule. I am from eThekwini Municipality under the Strategy Office. I lead what is called the eThekwini Strategic Hub. I'm going to try do it in 5 minutes to showcase some of the work that we do. I think between the panel and the presentation that came after, a lot of them have referred to data, but what is actually possible with data? So at eThekwini, we've started our journey trying to integrate all the different data sets within the city to actually inform the decisions that we make. We don't want to no longer be using guesswork to actually make decisions around the city, but we want to actually use data. Hence, we have the eThekwini Strategic Hub. I'll give you a little nugget about what was born of this towards the end of my presentation. So it is called our single source of truth because, again, we're trying to integrate all these multiple data sets into one platform. So you can visit it. It is open. It is at www.strathub.durban.gov.za. So we've got a couple of things going on here. So I'm just going to scroll down a little bit. We've got different initiatives. We've got dashboards that speak to different topics across the city. We've got what is called a livability index. So if you're interested in moving into Durban, you can choose a suburb, for example, and it will kind of tell you what the living index of that city is. Again, we're utilizing different data sets to kind of show you, if you want to come and live with us at eThekwini, you know, what would be the peak places to go to. We've got an SDG portal. We'll kind of show you some of the data work we're trying to do there as a city. And then we've also got the Green Metro book, which is speaking to, obviously, climate change. As Durban, we've kind of seen historically, we are going through some natural disasters. So we are now saying, how do we utilize data to plan better and become a resilient coastal city? So one of the cool things that we do have is what we call Know Your Councillor dashboard. So it's a simple dashboard, but it's very effective. So you can come to this dashboard, select your ward, for example, and you can get an understanding of who's your councillor, what is the population. This is the population here for the ward is a little bit outdated. I'm very excited to meet with the stats guys today because we at a local government really do need the data to be released at a ward level in order for us to plan. But it will tell you the budget, so what's the budget allocated for that specific ward and the projects and the number of projects within that ward. We are working to kind of go into greater detail to say what are those 9 projects, but again, those projects are planned according to the demographics of that ward. So it's a nice little dashboard. Like I said, you can just come click and find your ward, and it will even show you a picture of your councillor. Like I said, we do have the open SDG portal. So what we are trying to do here is localize the SDGs so we can actually monitor if we're still on track, right? So I'm going to try to find the tab. Yeah, there it is. So this is still kind of a prototype that we are working on, so it's not live yet. But we want to be able to click on one of the indicators, and based on the different indicators that fall, the subcategory indicators, be able to actually see how, as eThekwini, are we doing towards that 2030 goal as a city. So we are still working on it. Like I said, you know, some of it has currently sourced, and then if it's reported at a national level, we just put reported at a national level. So we are still working on finding the data for these. Then, like I said, we've got a variety of dashboards. This is an example of one of the dashboards. This is for our catalytic projects that we have in the city, so we can map which region they are in. We are looking at going deeper to say where specifically that is, and then essentially how much investment is going into that region, how many jobs are going to be created by those catalytic projects, and the investment size, so that we are able, again, to plan better as a city. What else is cool here? Right, so one of the things we are doing and are working on is a data strategy. We want to make it a site that you can come in and kind of read, because as we've noticed, we didn't have a data strategy. So some of the work, we are very limited in how it is driven. So it is going to be cool when it is live. It's not live yet, where you would be able to see as we update, if something new is coming in, we'll be able to kind of update our data strategy. So we touch on multiple things with the data strategy, leadership, the different positions, the data protocols, security, and so forth, ways of working with each other, because our mission is to really make sure that we become a data-driven city. We already have a portal that is live for the climate change portal. This they update every 3 months, because they have updates every 3 months. So if you want to kind of know in terms of climate change what's going on, you can come to the live data strategy and kind of work with that. Part of the DDM, one of the initiatives we are currently working on is what we call the Integrated Customer Relations Management. As local government, we understand that people complain about things that sometimes are out of our mandate. So for example, someone might complain about not getting their SASSA grant, but because they don't know how to differentiate the levels of government, they think that because they are in eThekwini, then eThekwini needs to take care of it as local government, but it's actually SASSA's provincial office that needs to take care of it. So what we're trying to do is work together to integrate that. If we do get complaints that are at a provincial or national level, we actually send them up, and if they get complaints that speak to our language, they kind of send it down. So we are doing that work as well, kind of part of the DDM to integrate. So that is one, oh, the cool one, I forgot the coolest one of them all. We are also working on what we call a digital twin. Now, my digital twin is not there yet, but we are working. So we are working to kind of replicate the city in 3D. Yeah, I don't have a mouse, so I don't know how to use the mouse, but I had to zoom in. Let me use my fingers. Okay, hopefully the buildings will draw and not embarrass me. But we are working on a digital twin. I don't know, I don't think it's gonna work. Where we are replicating, there you go, there are our buildings in 3D, where we are trying to replicate all the buildings in the city. It is a tedious process, but I think we've moved very far in the last 6 months. So this is a cool project because I think we'll be able to do so many things when it comes to planning, spatial planning, when it comes to disaster and simulating disasters within a 3D replicated model of the city. So one of our key projects to start with is there is I don't want to say a project in the north that is happening, so we're going to replicate what that building will actually look like, what impact it will have, but we will do it in the 3D version. So we think that's pretty cool. So essentially that is what we do with data within the eThekwini Strat Hub. Now you're going to see what is called the National Strat Hub, and people tend to forget that we are the influencers of that National Strat Hub. So the National Strat Hub has the same slogan as us because we influence them, and we felt like that is kind of showcasing the marriage between local and national. Thank you.
If you notice, the laptops get bigger and bigger the higher the sphere of government you go. What did you do to get it to show, Molly? There's nothing more nerve-wracking than doing a live demo. At least you know who I am, Helen North from proudly KZN today. We are sharing a little bit about our Digital Information and Innovation Hub, and when I say little, I mean like little. I call this stuff small data. What we've done is we've put together as much data as we can that actually already exists in the published domain. So a lot of data, for example, from Stats SA, we've got data from Auditor General, Crime Stats, Department of Health's Information System, Education's EMIS system, and what we've done is we've put it all together. Like my previous speaker mentioned from eThekwini, we actually work together, all three spheres of us. So all of this information is replicated in various formats, but it's the same information. So we've really managed to combine capacity and also make sure that we have a common coherency throughout the different spheres. So the first profile that we have is the provincial one. You can get a whole range of information and variables. We've also got time series available. And it really gives a very nice sort of situational overview of province on a whole lot of different themes, as you can see there, or maybe it's a little small to see, but it is there. We've also got the district diagnostic. Dr. Mbata will go more into that. One of the things that we've learned is that we can put a whole lot of data together, but unless we start to put context and some narrative together, people find that the product's not very useful. So we found it very useful to combine small bits of information with some narrative and help people to contextualize. Then we also have our development indicators. This is looking at the medium-term development plan, and what's beautiful about this is being able to track indicators over time. This is probably not the best example, one that I've put up here, but you can get a very nice, be able to looking at baselines and also comparing over time, and that's going to take too long to load. The last one that we've got is our indicator atlas. I am a geographer at heart, so I love everything and all things spatial. But here we have taken all of that data and those indicators that you've seen and then mapped them when we can at different spatial resolutions. So there is a huge amount of information. We've also, like I've said, made sure that we put a lot of our information, we're trying to distill it into information briefs and also into reports. And also very importantly, to have some of our dashboards that are in isiZulu as well as in English, given that the majority of people in the province are not actually English speakers. And we thank chat AI tools for this. It's not the greatest, but it does work. And that, in a nutshell, colleagues, I will share the websites. It's kznpidh.gov.za, and there will be much more to come in terms of our live dashboards and the like that are still works in progress, which we look forward to sharing with you. Thank you very much. I think I was very generous with my time there, Dr. Mbata, so you've got longer.
It is correct that we are guided by that time, right? So we're decolonizing the time. It still shows 15 minutes, so fantastic. So we'll just take it up so you don't look a gift horse in the mouth. So I'm not going to question why it's still on 15, so I'll just take what I have. So what I'll do, it's 2 years of work and really, really hard work. Let me just help colleagues with my positionality. I am a recovering public servant since April, since the end of April. So the work that I am showing now is the work that I did when I was a public servant, and then the other part in recovery. But I've then changed the relationship with government. Now I have a co-parenting relationship with the National Strategic Hub. So we're trying to raise these kids. Oh, not these ones. These ones are mine alone, hopefully. So what I'll do to orientate you better, so I'll quickly just run through a presentation, because I think the amount of work that has been done is it's completely not. Don't worry, we'll find. It's not really fair to go straight to the demo without anchoring with my technical colleagues are like, no, he's not going to show that video. There's a fun video about data and the demystification of data that I won't go through. But anyway, actually, I'll do it now because you guys don't want me to do it. I hope the sound is there. If sound is not there, then it's fine. I know it's not fun when the sound is not there. It's fine. We'll leave it like that. But what we've been trying to do, really, with the work we're doing, is that we're trying to demystify the issue of data. Yeah, with the sound, it sounds better, but I like that someone takes out the ladder before the other person comes out, so they have to scale. So part of what we're trying to do in the process of demystifying data is really, I won't go too deep in it. I'm going to rush it through, so don't pay attention to it. It's saying that if we don't pay attention to data, this is what happens. What you just saw happens in every municipality where plumbers go out to the field. They have no idea what kind of pipe is underground. They don't have the tools to get there. When they finish fixing what you saw them fixing, they are sent 20 kilometers away while there's another fault that's about 500 meters away because the data is not linked and the systems aren't linked. So I could go through all this. This is what we've developed to really show the importance of demystifying data. I won't take you through this because my job today is really to demystify, to demo the data. But what drives us is really, if you cannot measure it, you cannot manage it. So we've been trying to deal with the issue of backlog, and you ask people, housing backlog, how did you calculate the housing backlog that you're trying to respond to? No one can give you the numbers and the actual data on that, right? So the process started in 2023, July, and Bali is correct. I took her from eThekwini to start this with me, so she worked with me, and then eThekwini fetched the back because of what eThekwini Strategic Hub was doing, and we went and did this in government. So this is the entire process. It went to cabinet. It's a cabinet-approved program, and this is the work we've been doing, and some of it is what you're going to see, but it's influenced and informed by this data context. Again, I'm rushing you through, but what drives us again is this cycle of impact. That if we sort out the data, we'll sort out the operational excellence for human dignity. You bring the data to the actual issues and challenges that people face. Otherwise, it's just fancy dashboard that have no meaning at all, and they don't bring water to the tap, right? So the approach of what you're going to see is the action, actors, space, and time. So data has people in it, or some actors of some form. It could be government, it could be entities, and so forth, but there's a certain action they are doing. Are they spending? Are they requesting services? Are they consuming services? But where is this happening? Every government money is spent on a geographical location. Whether you're buying an office equipment, it is in a space. So we should account it at a space level. So time, when is it happening? We should be able to measure longitudinally what has happened over a period of time, right? So this is part of what I'm going to show you. When you see this, I'm worried about showing this live primarily because it's very heavy, so it may take more time, is that what we've tried to do is to manufacture consent. And manufacturing consent, and remember, data is not a technical aspect. It requires really strategic people, and I'm probably one of those, right? Strategically, to think about how do you bring everyone together to work with you in the process. So what we've taken is to take the DDM process and said, okay, the DDM has 6 focal areas. How do we use these focal areas for all the layers of government at national level? So we have the same view. At provincial level, we have the same view. Municipalities have the same view. So that if we have the diagnostics that are similar, we know exactly what the problem is, we will react and respond to the issue in the same way, not that the province will say, no, we think that's a problem. eThekwini says, no, we think that's not a problem. So we wanted to create this single source of truth. So this is live. You guys anyone can have it, and we're trying to demystify this whole thing that government wants to have dashboards that are all front-facing, they're not facing the public. It's public money. So make it available to the public so the public can hold us accountable, because frankly, it is boring for the public to say, oh, government is incompetent, government is not doing this, unless it's pointed to say, you have X amount of money, you have not spent it, yet we don't have services. That is active citizenry. But we have a responsibility as government to produce that kind of data to show them the active citizenry and what it looks like. So I'm going to show you quickly these dashboards. I won't go through all these fancy things. Imagine how much, 15 minutes. I'll have to be lightning fast. So the organizers thought that 5 minutes, not even 15 minutes, 5 minutes would be worth it. So what I'll do, let me see what I can drag that along. So you guys can go into that National Strategic Hub. Oh, oops, yeah. So you can go to the National Strategic Hub. It's nationalstrategichub.cocta.gov.za. So we are located within the Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs. This work is not a COCTA's project, but it's an all of government and all of society's work. So you get in here, you go to the diagnostic profiles I was showing you, we're changing this completely, to be honest, so go straight to the data so that we don't have to click so many times before we get to where we want to get. So we want to make it efficient, because people think that, and even the question earlier in the panel is like, how do we learn from the private sector? I don't think the private sector is the most efficient, by the way, because I deal with them on a daily basis. So people must give us a slack. So what you would be able to do is to go to people, then you will choose, because Mbali is here, let me just choose eThekwini. I was going to choose other more fun spaces, but I am a ratepayer here, sorry. It's very difficult to navigate this in here. I think this is eThekwini, this is your little municipality here. So what it gives you a longitudinal view of the population growth over time. It gives you the population growth rate. It gives population densities. It keeps moving. Everything keeps jumping. Apologies, colleagues. But you will be able to play around with this, right? So that's one part. These are the diagnostics for the country. So all municipalities, all 52 districts, so 44 district plus metros, should be able to see themselves through this dashboard. to the detail, and a lot of thanks, of course, to State SA and other departments that have contributed the data that we currently have, and thanks to my ladies here. When we said we're gonna present together, it was a reunion, because these are the ones that get away, they come back, they get away. So we've been working with them tremendously on some of this work. And then we then do a deep dive, so you can go to dashboards, then you can go deeper into the kind of dashboards that are there. If you're curious about dashboards and say, okay, I wanna know the conditional grants, I don't know how many people in the public know what conditional grants are. Municipalities are given grants to respond to some of the challenges that you have as citizens. The responsibility is upon you. Firstly, it's upon us to show this, but it's upon you to say, guys, you have a MIG, Municipal Infrastructure Grant, that has been given to your municipality, and you've only spent 30% of that, yet we don't have water, we still have a problem of water. What is the problem, right? That's accountability that you are now pulling government to do. So we're trying to help the citizens to be able to hold people accountable. State of education, state of crime and safety, municipal finances, because it's important to know what your municipality is spending money on and how much of expenditure are they spending, what irregularities that are happening in municipalities. The audit trails, or all the audit outcomes, it's all the information that you will find in the strategic hub. So the last part is saying, again, driven by the question of the so what, is that, yes, you've got all this, then so what? So we've then developed, which I'm not going to, because it's really will take a lot of time for me to be able to go through. Let's just leave it like that, because it may not. Okay, so I've just closed it. Okay, no, it's fine. Let's not do it, because it's gonna waste too much of our time. Because I wanted to show you the answer to the so what question. That says, let's just do the living plans. Maybe let's do this one. So basically saying, the so what question is saying, how do we then start to bring this data to the plans? Municipal plans are all on PDF, including the SDFs, which is a Spatial Development Framework, including the IDP. So the municipalities take a snapshot of a municipality once a point in time and say, we're gonna plan for 5 years for this snapshot. So what we're saying is that let's layer the data at the beginning, so that the data keeps on giving an idea of what the municipality is responding to over time. So this is one of the tools we're building. We're building a service delivery simulator, so that it's not only communities that have advocacy or have people that are known. So where Helen lives and Helen makes a call because she knows Mbali and eThekwini, the response is quicker. It must be an issue of, are we utilizing data to identify areas of deprivation and need, and then be able to respond to that. So we're trying to do the entire value chain of data to impact. We're not just trying to do the fancy dashboard, which of course these ladies love fancy dashboards, and I love that they love fancy dashboards. Ladies and gentlemen, this is just a piece of what we do. It's not all that we do, but Helen, did you show a QR code? Because I think people can scan, unless they have 3310s, which I think they should be able to scan them. Babumtiane, do you have a smartphone? Okay, so this is, I'm just going to show the QR code, and I'll leave it like that, and I'll close, because I think there's a QR code here that will help the colleagues. Oh, by the way, this is what the president thought about what we were doing. And at that time, there was no load shedding. So when he say he likened it to an engine and a power station that lights up the country, he wasn't playing a dirty joke at us, but because there was no load shedding at the time when we took it to cabinet. So when you scan this, it will take you to the National Strategic Hub, play around with it, reach out to us. We want to be more vulnerable for you to input, for you to question, but have constructive criticism. Because we find any other criticism other than constructive boring, like personally I do. So that's where we are. Thank you so much, colleagues. Appreciate it. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you, Dr. Mbata, and let's give them a big round of applause. Dr. Sandile Mbata, Ms. Helen North, as well as Ms. Mbali Kambule. Siyabonga kakhulu. Thank you. At this point, we are going to have the startups who are going to pitch. This is an innovation showcasing a part of our program where we have all 10 of them. But before they do so, I would like to ask that our judges representing our partners, if they could please come forward so they could occupy their space before we could invite each startup. So we have a list of 10, and each of them will have 10 minutes to pitch their concept. And the judges will have 5 minutes to pose questions to them. So together, that will take us up to 1 o'clock. So if I could have the judges come forward, please. We have this front row reserved for them. Let me establish, are the judges ready? Yes. All right. All right, as the judges take their seats, we have, yes, we have 10 individuals who are going to pitch, and we will see who wins at the end. So we will call them in the following order. They each have 10 minutes. In that 10 minutes, the first 5 is for them to pitch, and then the judges will use the remaining 5 to ask them questions, and we will be here also, it's as transparent as that, to witness the pitch. So we have Sibonga's Collection, we have Usinotech, we have Data Solutions, Izipho Zokuphila, Cuban Technology, Smart Farming, EMED, Coned, ZFit, EdNotes, and the final one is Asante Tech Solutions. So we'll start with Sibonga's Collection. Sibonga's Collection will come forward to do their pitch, and you have 10 minutes to do so. And then judges, please stick to your 5 minutes once they are done. So 5 minutes to pose questions. All the best, Sibonga.
Greetings to everyone. My name is Inkosi from Ulundi, Konjeni area. I am a student at University of Zululand. I'm doing my 3rd year, Bachelor of Education in intermediate phase, the Department of MSTE and Languages. I'm going to talk about the theme Digital Transformation for Inclusive Growth. I started baking cakes and have loving cakes from my early age at 10 years. Someday, my neighbor invited me to make cakes for his umembeso and umkehlo ceremony. I saw my potential being trusted with such big ceremonies, and they said I'm doing good job. They taste so good, and I opened a business for the last 10 months ago. I opened it on 5th of May, 2024. So far, I got 1,785 customers. I see my business growing to be known internationally. My business is Sibonga's Bakery under Sibonga Collection. My business is unique as I use high quality ingredients and I bake quicker and deliver to them as soon as possible. I can do same-day delivery. I am different from my competitors as I give my customers the best service and respect my customers. I quote, the customer is always right. Umuntu ngumuntu ngabantu. I use high quality products, baking with love, passion, and respecting my customers, regardless of their attitudes. My target market is students,
community, general public on social networks. I have a page on Facebook and TikTok. I also market my products on WhatsApp statuses. I connect with my customers through WhatsApp, Facebook, and TikTok. And I hope for the future to have a link or an app where I will use my product as it will reach internationally. I don't want to only market on this target market as students and public people. I want my product to be known internationally. My wish is to have a business on overseas so that they can also see my delicious cakes. I bake with passion, love. I love my work. I don't bake for just money. I have fulfillment on my work. Building a proper bakery shop will be my best growth, as it will always attract many customers passing by, and also they can see its online purchase and be delivered online using Take-A-Lot, Uber Eats, and MD delivery. I will open a website link to order and the app that caters internationally, as it will not be on South Africa only. I want it to be internationally. I wish to open a bakery in the next 2 years coming. I will make this happen once I get my target sales and investors. Getting much investors will be my best idea, as it will grow my target market. I make money by selling each scone at 5 rands and muffin at 7 rands. I bake wedding cakes, birthday cakes, and etc., starting from 500 rands. My customer revenue depends on the sale of that month. Quoting Bible verse, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." If my wish is fulfilled, I hope to bring back to my community by providing with baking classes for them and making them to fulfill their dreams. And they will also do that to their environments. My product is going to be known internationally. It can happen as I started with 0 customers, but today I'm counting numbers. I know why I opened this business, as to cater for events, functions, and all over, as there is no events without cakes. It is a good gift you can give to a person having an event.
Time is up. Thank you. One, two, one, two. All right, thank you so much. Now we'll hand over to the judges then to ask you questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Siyabonga. My name is Lynette. I'm from Microsoft. And thank you for your pitch. I just want to understand your bakery business. What makes it unique from other similar businesses?
Thank you for your question. My business is unique as I provide my customers with respect, best quality, and I use high quality ingredients that makes my product to differ. And irregardless of their attitude, I treat them all equally.
Hi, Sibonga. Thank you so much for your presentation. My name is Bonnie. I'm a solution engineer at Microsoft. Thank you so much for what you're doing for your community of Ulundi. I just wanted to ask, are you bringing other young people with you in this journey? Is there anyone helping you in this journey? It's always a great thing to transfer your skill of baking to other young people at Ulundi. Are you currently doing that?
I'm currently doing it at varsity. My friends at RES, I taught them how to bake, and they are starting to bake for their own businesses.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, thank you for your presentation. First of all, I would like to say best of luck for what you are doing. I want to know, you mentioned that you would like to go international, right? So what is your vision? What is your idea behind going international? How would you like to achieve that goal?
Okay, thank you for your question. It is interesting. Going internationally, I want to open an app or a link that everyone can access so that they can order online, or I will open a bakery shop internationally, here and overseas, so that everyone can see my good work and my good, delicious cakes.
Okay, thank you for that answer. Thank you as well for your presentation. I'm Senzo from Huawei. It takes a lot of guts to stand in front of us and present, so I applaud you for that. And as my colleague said, good luck on your business as well. I think my question goes to the sustainability of your business. How do you handle your funds? How do you handle your turnover? How much of it is profit? And do you invest it back into your company again?
Thank you for your question. I started with 1,500. I got funds from my family. Currently, I do not have investors, but I can like one. My profits in other months, I always have 780 customers. Others are in my school, others are events. That's where I get income.
Yeah, good morning, Simbongise. Thank you so much for the presentation. I'm Elsie. I am a Microsoft solution specialist. My question is, I'm sure that living this passion, you had role models in your life that taught you these skills. And I think we already had the question from the colleague is, are you implementing this to other young people, and not only the idea of baking, but taking something that they treasure and something that's a passion of theirs and turn it into a profitable business?
Thank you for your question. I'm being trained for this baking business, and I provide trainings in my varsity as I currently studying Bachelor of Education. I also run this business, so I give them classes. Always I give them free so that they can start their own businesses. Yes.
Okay, judges, so you've all had your bites. All right, thank you so much. Sponga, we'll wait for the outcome later on, but thank you again for the presentation that you've given us. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause. Thank you very much. We'll allow the judges to tell you the scores as we prepare to welcome the next pitch, which would be Usino Tech. Sino, I hope you are ready to give us your magic. At least you were lucky there to Sponga. Roll the carpet for you so you see how it's done. So let's see what you have in store for us. Sino Tech, so your 5 minutes will start at 12:10. Asumshayile Tombe, Sino Tech. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Is it morning or afternoon? Oh, it's afternoon. Good afternoon. Standing before you is Nombuso Mnikati. I am a director of a company called Sinotech. I am an occupational practitioner and I'm accredited trainer in a variety of cities, and I'm here to present my business. So Sinotech is a skills development and digital innovation company dedicated to empowering rural and township communities. Our vision is to digitize businesses and education, empowering youth and building a future-ready KwaZulu-Natal. So about Sinotech, it's a South African company based in Durban, 100% owned by a woman and a youth. Our services are digital skills development, entrepreneurship training, program management of variety trainings, QCTO courses, recruitment and refresher training to training providers as well as SMMEs. The mission of our company is to bridge digital devices by providing access, digital skills, innovation tools, entrepreneurship support. So our slogan is digitizing businesses and education. The challenges that we have seen around KZN as Sinotech is that there is limited access to a digital and ICT skills, especially in the rural areas and in the township areas. There is so much of youth unemployment and a lack of innovation hub. Many small businesses operate without digital tools, and training programs exist, but a lack of digital integration and sustainability. So we are saying as Sinotech, without digital skills and infrastructure, KZN potential remain unstepped. So the solution that Sinotech is bringing is to divide digital transformation through action, establishing digital skills and innovation hubs in the rural areas and township areas, providing QCTO, aligned digital and entrepreneurship courses, introduce AI and Microsoft 365 for youth and SMMEs, launch mobile computer labs for remote communities, offer project management and program reporting for government-funded initiative. The impact achieved so far as Sinotech is we have a proven track record. We have trained about 300, even more probably, of the youth around KZN. Most of them were in the retail sector and most of them has received employment. We have successfully implemented business and innovative, which has created employment to the retail sectors, as I have mentioned. And we were recognized by MTN, Women in Digital Business Challenge winner for 2020. Almost said 2024. We were awarded Best Woman-Owned Business at the Durban Business Fair by eThekwini Municipality, and we are continuously empowering youth, women, and entrepreneurs through a sustainable digital training initiatives. So our future vision as Sinotech is we want to build a digital inclusive KwaZulu-Natal. So the goal that we have now, it's quite big, it's quite scary, is that we want to establish 3 regional digital innovation hubs. We want to train 1,000. I don't think we can train 1,000. Could be more because it's 3 years, but probably it's fear that made me to put 1,000. Probably, but we will train even more of the youth and entrepreneurs in the ICT and AI skills. We want to equip schools with digital literacy programs. We want to introduce AI awareness campaigns across the rural areas, because those are the areas that have no idea of something called AI. You'll be surprised that there's a child in the rural areas that doesn't even know what is a mouse. So the long term of our future vision is to position KZN as South African digital skills province, yes.
Let's wrap up.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Sino. Tech, thank you for that presentation. I will now hand you over to the judges.
Thank you. Nombusa, thank you for a great presentation and thank you for being so confident in delivering that session. It is really brave to be up there and to share with a large audience like this. I want to also encourage you to say, dream bigger. 3 regions is still small, and there's a whole future ahead of you. My question is around, you said that you work a lot with youth.
Yes.
Do you have a certain age group that you specifically focus on, or is that mostly just unemployed youth? Kind of who are your target group that you're working with?
Currently, I've been working with the youth from the age of 18 till 35. Not necessarily unemployed, but I also work with the youth that are employed to upskill them. Because as you know that the economy is constantly changing. So I work with the youth from people who are like cashiers, because we're even training them about innovation, to say even if you're a cashier, doesn't mean that you don't have to think about innovation. You must be able to think, what can you pull out from what is there, to think differently of the product that is there. So we work with unemployed and employed. We work from 1835. We do work with people that are not youth as well. Elderly, we work with them as well, because we believe that technology is vast. We cannot limit it to the youth only. Thank you.
Hi. I've got 2 questions. First of all, I would like to know that how many jobs have you created using your initiative so far every year? And secondly, apart from the giveaway or the give back to the community that you are doing, which is great, actually, from the business point of view, what is your growth factor? What do you think, and how do you see your business growing in the next few years?
Sorry, can you repeat the second question?
Okay, so second question is from the business point of view.
Okay.
How do you see your business growing in the next few years?
Okay. So the first question is, how many jobs have you created? So last year we trained most of the youth that were going to be on the retail sector. I mentioned 300 because those are the ones that were employed within KZN, because we're training them on customer service and innovation and digital. So we created jobs about 300 in KZN. In terms of where we see ourselves as Sinotech, is that the most thing that I would like to see as a business owner or as the director of Sinotech is having a tech hub in every corner of the rural area and the township area. So that is one, because for me, the urban areas are already developed. That is why when you want to learn about AI or robots, you go to the urban areas. But what about the rural areas and the township areas? So for me, I want what I see or what I envision Sinotech is to see tech hubs in every corner of the township and the rural areas in KZN. Thank you.
Hi, Simo.
Hi.
My name is Bonnie. I wanted to ask have you considered partnering with NGOs as well? I see that you've partnered with the likes of MTN and others. Have you thought of partnering with NGOs? Because these are organizations that tend to be closer to your target market, which is the rural areas. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your question. Yes, we are partnering with the rural areas. We don't have training venues in all of KZN. So whenever that, if you want to go and do a training in a specific area, our most convenient #1 target is to target an NPO, because we know that they have a database of the people that are unemployed. They have a database of the people who are actually acquiring the skill that we're coming to bring. So we are partnering with the NPOs, and also because the NPOs have a mandate to upgrade and empower the community. So we thought probably that's the right place to go if we want to make an impact to the communities. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome. done on your presentation.
Thank you.
You really presented yourself very well, and the confidence in articulating your business shows that, you know, you are on top of your business and you know what you are doing. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Since you're in the business of digital transformation and upskilling, especially our youth, what are the emerging technology trends are you currently exploring in your business?
Okay, so I'm gonna speak on the aspect of entrepreneurs, because we saw that after COVID, most of the businesses collapsed because people did not have any direction as to, if I sit at home, how am I going to access my customers and stuff. So our fundamentals, or rather even just targeting the big technology trends, we first started with the basis of teaching the entrepreneurs 365, Microsoft 365, because most of them, they didn't even know that they can have meetings at home using things like your Teams. They didn't know that you can even have an office at home using your SharePoint. So we don't want to become dramatic because of the communities we come from. We start from the basis. We know that we'll reach a point where we will teach them about robotics, having to command, as one of the speakers was saying. I think it's the CEO of Microsoft saying they are now commanding the robots to tell them the codes. But we as Sinotech, we made an outline to say, as much as we know all the digital trends that are currently happening in the world, but because our target market is not conducive for that, we will start at the bottom, teach them the fundamentals. Thank you.
All right, Sibonga kakhulu, ladies and gentlemen, Nombuso from Sinotech. Asimshayele ihlombe. Well, unfortunately, we've run out of time, but I'm sure on round two we will have a session maybe with the shortlisted presenters. Now we move to data solutions. Data solutions, ready? Yes. You have that screen in front of you with the timer counting down from minute 5, and then the other 5 minutes is for the judges. Over to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I greet you all. My name is Busiso Blessing Masenga. I'm from the company called Data Solutions South Africa, a company based in Richards Bay. Today, I will present to you a mobile application that I started developing in 20... Oh, thank you, sir. You can all hear me now, right? Hello? Okay, there's a mobile application for municipalities that I developed back in 2019. Up until today, I've been updating it on whichever requirements that are needed based on the municipality operation. Our municipalities faces challenges maintaining effective communication and service delivery between the municipalities and its residents. So citizens rely on physical visits, phone calls, word of mouth report on fault or excess information, resulting in delays, limited transparency, and reduced community engagement. So this application developed by us provides a unified platform for communication, service request, and community engagement. Key features including fault logging, help desk, we've got news updates, we've got municipal structures for knowledge, local businesses and school directories, emergency listing, and tenders and vacancy information. So the innovation and uniqueness of this mobile application, this app is uniquely designed for local government, citizen interaction, and it integrates in real time notification, smart fault management, business directories, and accessibility features developed by Data Solutions company. When it comes to our customers and end users, it includes local residents, business schools, municipal staff, job seekers, and investors. The app enables residents to report issues, businesses to promote services, schools to share information, and the municipalities to deliver efficient, transparent services. So socially, this app enhances communication, transparency, and inclusivity. Economically, it supports local businesses, creates digital opportunities, and promote efficiency. Environmentally, it reduces paper usage and improve fault management and encourages sustainability awareness. So in revenue and model side, when it comes to municipality and community engagement, the revenue can be generated through municipal services agreement, local business advertising, which increases job opportunities for young marketers, field marketers, and digital promoters. So there's a premium directory listing that will be there. That is listing the small companies that are still growing, and then people who wish to advertise within that same local municipality mobile application. And there is a white label labeling licensing as well for other municipalities to be able to copycat the same mobile application. As, for an example, we all use Microsoft Word on a daily basis. So this app is similar to the same app as Microsoft Word as well, so that can be easily white labeled for multiple. Fortunately, I had an opportunity to work with blind people. So my interest in this as well is for blind people, students from Umfolozi College, to be able to receive all the operations, news, all the notifications that are occurring under their municipality, by the training that we provide them to be able to use smartphones and be able to use, laptops and computers with different softwares installed in it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You did that in 4 minutes, 20 seconds. So I'll hand over to the judges now to ask you questions.
Thank you. My name is Inkosi from MTN. Thank you for the presentation. If you don't mind, just share with us, is it only one municipality you have now as a customer, or do you have more? Thank you.
According to my platform, I built this for my local municipality back in Richards Bay, which is Umhlatuza municipality. But we have been engaging with 6 to 8 other municipalities where we were introducing the same platform that can be white labeled from our local municipality onto different, other municipalities.
Siyabonga Putsipusiso. My name is Senzo. I just want to piggyback off the last question that you got. In terms of your growth, I think that's what the question was alluding to. In the next 5 years, for instance, where do you see this company growing to? Are you planning to take it national, or are you going to stay at the municipality level?
In the near future, we are planning to grow, but we have to start from our local, municipalities, so that the people from the outside of the province, maybe I can say, they can see the effectiveness of engaging with us when it comes to the product that we are selling them. So we wish to grow outside from our province and operate outside from our province so that we can engage with, more other people, or we gain more other clients based on our services that we are providing, specifically on our software development side.
Thank you so much. Hi, Blessing.
Hi.
My name is Bonnie. I like that your mobile application is an all-in-one use platform where citizens can just go and find this and access these services. I just wanted to ask, what data and where did you get it that is backing your application?
Come again with that?
the data that you used for your app, where did you get it? Did you use the public data available with Stats SA? What data is backing your application?
It's the data that we obtained from the research that we were doing, busy developing the app. We didn't obtain the data from any government institution or any private institution. So it's just the data that we pulled out from the records that we have. We got an agreement from our clients as well to be able to use their data. For an example, if I'm from my app, there's a list of businesses under business directories. So I asked our clients that, can we use your data from our business directory feature on our app? Then they said yes. And then I said, every time when I go and present, this app, showing them this feature, you need to bear in mind that your business will appear as advertised or as we have captured it from our business directory list from our municipal app feature.
Hi. How do you ensure the accuracy of the data that you have collected? The accuracy of the data, how do you measure that? And secondly, how do you, because your whole business is based on the data, how do you comply with the POPI regulation of South Africa?
The accuracy of our data comes from the registration of members registering their profiles on an app. So there is validation process from the app itself that validates if that data is valid. For an example, if you are a citizen under a eThekwini municipality, there's an accounts, a feature from the app, and there's a services feature from an app. So there will be time where there will be a section where you cannot be able to log on to an app or a section of an app without having your municipal account or using your ID to be able to view a certain section. For an example, you cannot view my accounts from an app because we are not using the same ID, we are not using the same municipal account. So that is how we ensure the accuracy of our security.
Yeah, well, unfortunately the time is up, but we thank you, Mr. Data Solutions.
Thank you so
Ladies and
much.
gentlemen, Data Solutions giving us their presentation. Siyabonga. We now move to Izipho Zokuphila. Thank you. You have a screen in front of you with the timer counting down, 5 minutes down to 0. Over to you.
Ngiyabingelela. My name is Siyabonga Mngadi, founder of Izipho Zokuphila. Just a quick disclaimer, I may be quicker than my slides. I'm not usually used to slides. So Izipho Zokuphila is a digital company, is a startup tech company that leverages tech to solve problems related to safety amongst women and children. So I'm sure everyone is aware that in South Africa we have a scourge in GBV, violent crimes against women and children, where you would find women or children being abducted on a day-to-day basis. So what we do at Izipho Zokuphila, we use tech. We have a digital device that has a panic button linked to a app on the phone. So should you or a loved one is experiencing any terms of violence altercation, they can simply press a panic button on our device that will send an alert signals both to us and to a loved one who's tracking you via an app. So our app is found on the Play Store currently. These are some of the features that our social solution have. Our target market is parents, caregivers, schools, learning institutions, with the end users being children and females, women. Sorry. Our revenue model is the sales of the device as well as subscription And our business scaling strategy, in the next few years, we hope to migrate also to livestock tracking for theft in rural communities. Some of our milestones that we have achieved is a Best Innovation Award in 2022 from the SAB Foundation, and a ministerial award also from the CPSI. Thank you very much. Before I take questions, I think I have a bit more time. Before I take questions, I'd just like to do a quick demo. So our device can be customized. This can be customized into a school badge or a logo. Okay. For discreteness, like I said, this can be customized into a school badge or company logo. And here's the panic button here. He's just going to go outside and press the panic button just to demonstrate how it actually works. It doesn't only require a person to use a smartphone. Even a person without a smartphone can also use our tracking device, because the notification will come as soon as he press for 10 seconds. Just a sec. You good? Okay, just a sec. Press it. The devil is a liar. Okay, like I was saying, while he's still sorting that out, you don't only require the app on the smartphone. As soon as he presses 10 seconds, it usually it comes on in a call. So, like I was saying, a person without a smartphone can also actually use it. So, yeah. Are you winning? I also ndele ndoda. Nange ngilahlisela ngemali. Uyabo? Can I take questions? Maybe we can try that again.
All right, thank you so much, man. Don't stress. The judges then will ask questions when Siyabonga, judges.
Siyabonga. You can ignore the gremlins. We're used to them. They usually happen at demos, so it's okay.
There we go.
Finally.
Finally.
All right. My question is more on the curiosity front, in terms of where do you see your partnerships going in future? After the device has rung on your end, including the other registered user, what do you then do with that information? Do you hand it over to any officials? Are you in partnership with any security companies? What is your strategy with that?
So we are currently partnered with CPFs, but I think it's only in KZN. We're still trying to expand outside of KZN. Also looking to expand our partnerships with the security cluster, including SAPS at a national and provincial and national level. So yeah, also in terms of our growth strategy, we are hopeful that this could be available in all learning institutions across the country, because you'd find that kuzoqhamuka ingane kaNongoma izofunda eThekwini, they're not familiar with iTheku, and they may be more vulnerable to violent crimes and being abducted. So yeah.
Yeah, nice presentation, thank you.
Thank you.
How do you make money?
By the sales of the device, which device sells R1,000, and a subscription, monthly subscription for us to be able to connect your device to your app.
Okay, so 1,000 rand is a monthly subscription.
1,000 rand once of purchase, the monthly subscription is 99 rand.
Okay, thank you.
How many users or downloads do you currently have?
We have, okay, I have twofold. So when we were first doing a pilot, we did a pilot of 100 in Mzimkulu. So we do have those 100 still active running. And there's 50 from a NGO, Zomnoto, which is situated in Poshepston, that they procured for their vulnerable groups that they are taking care of. So yeah, I'd say 150.
150?
Yes, in total.
Okay. Where is the application hosted?
Come again?
The application.
Where
is it hosted?
You find our app on Play Store. We're still looking to get it to Play Store. We're still looking to go into iStore.
Okay, I was asking where your app is currently sitting. Is it on WordPress, Azure?
Umuntu develop the app nangela lapha wena ungakunika kahle le information kaXolisa.
Okay, so the application is being integrated to Microsoft Azure. So we're also looking to explore also into all the other application system that can be done. Also looking to see how we can also feature Huawei, since now the cloud storage is now paying differ, so it is to make sure that we accommodate everyone. And also we are able to also operate even offline as well, since we are looking to make sure we tap into the space within rural areas as well.
Okay, thank you.
You mentioned SAPs as one of the target customers that you are targeting. What other markets are you looking to move into in terms of your customer base?
The insurance space, we're also trying to penetrate the insurance space for car insurance, life insurance, and whatever the case may be. So yeah, we're also looking to go into the insurance space. So not only SAPs, insurance, education space, and also, yeah.
So while in the education space as well, we also have programs and projects that we do in ending the digital gender-based violence through innovation and technology devices as well.
Hi. There are already so many tracker companies in the market, right? Especially AirTag, if you talk about that Apple. So how do you plan to compete with the existing trackers which are there already in the market? Plus, you just mentioned now your subscribers are about 150, which is okay. I mean, every startup will start from somewhere and will grow. What is your plan and strategy to increase your subscriber base going forward?
What is
your strategy to increase your subscriber base going forward?
Okay, so with the first question, what sets us apart from other tracking companies or other trackers that are currently available? With AirTag, it does not have a panic button, and apps or companies that are dealing with GBV, have violent crimes against women and children, are usually on the phone. There's nothing physically on you. Now, we all know that when a person comes to attack you or is any violent altercation, the first thing they're going to do is dispossess you of your phone. So cutting all means of communication, now that also renders useless. So again, in the country, it's this value proposition sets us apart, head and shoulders above the rest. And as for the subscription, can you just repeat the last question again? Sorry.
Regarding your subscribers, your customers, so how do you plan to increase them?
Obviously, we want to get via word of mouth, getting our product out there, using social media, using market media, print media, and the like. So yeah.
Last question, please. Oh, sorry.
Sure.
You can have this.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to Siabonga. I'm going to ask that when we do the Q&A, if the judges can be direct and brief, so that the guest pitching can also be economic with words, because we need to be fair with the time allocation that we give to all of them. Now we move to Cuban technology. Cuban technology are not ready. We will skip that. Are you Cuban technology? Yeah, still fixing your Cuban cigars there. Fixing out his demo back. Cuban technology, your 5 minutes starts right now.
One, two. Cela ukubingelela the judges. Firstly, just a quick question. Bakhona mhlawumbe abazali noma abanehlobo abanengane egibela omalume ama-scholar transport. Just by the show of hands. Oh wow, I've got customers. Unhlakanipho Sibisi igama uphuma eMaritzburg. My device nangoku. My device is called iMalume. It's basically a device that the top one is for umalume. That's a smartwatch for a kid. So every time when umalume picks up the kid to and from school, it reports on an app to umzali. Okay, I've picked the kid up. The problem we're trying to solve, parents are concerned with their kids timelessly. The communication barrier between parents and umalume, hence the need of an efficient and effective tool to address these problems. Our research was based with market trends data of 120 schools just Gungundlovu kuphela. We also visited Usentako to get their database since kukhona unit scholar transport. And we worked with 175 and they still have a backlog. The findings were that over 40% students use scholar transport to and from school. And 15% of parents have reported late emsebenzini due to their kids not being picked up by umalume ngesikhathi. The value proposition, any parent wants their kid to be safe at all the times, and kids now like gadgets, so the smart band obviously bazothanda. Omalume, they want parents to meet them halfway as well, assuring them ukuthi their kids are safe just by a click of a button. As you can see, the judges, there's a click there on the device. That's the panic button. So if there's any emergencies, it was pick up. We want to integrate our system with the emergency units, so your ambulance, your police, so that if anything happens, they know where the problem is. The benefits of the device, it's easy to use and easy to pair. It pairs with the Bluetooth. It's a smart band and it's uniquely coded for ingane yakho. So you can't mix ingane kanhlaka nengane kamthiyane. Unless if there's an accident, then it sends a SMS to all the parents that are involved in that taxi. It's compatible with all the iOS. It would be available kuma app stores. The uniqueness of it, we've earned the intellectual property. So ayikho in South Africa, which obviously opens the market. The business model and progress that we used, it's the SSS business model and the business progress. I'm not going to read more, but we've worked with ISITA. COVID really demolished us. We do have challenges and we do have mitigation strategies as well. I'm not going to dwell much onto it. we are busy, we need funding for e-final prototyping, cybersecurity, and to work more with e-security, MacBook, Macintosh, since it's, you know, the expensive. The process we're looking at, since we looking at a very low people earning, we're looking to sell it device your malume by 450 rands with a monthly fee of 50, which obviously are the digits, the smart bands in connection with the numbers that I showed you. Here's the certificates from e-Centaco saying they are happy to jump on board. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about, our beloved ones. Thank you. Here are the details.
Thank you, Nhlakanipho.
Ngibonge Mthiyane.
Yes, judges? We start with the gentleman.
Kwashupa.
Akukho bad, Nhlaka, akukho bad.
Ngiyabonga Mhlonishwa.
Yeah, just hearing from what you say, has the business started or you are looking to start it?
The business started, but unfortunately, the second step yakhona bekukumele siqede iprototype. Kumasenti ebesinawo sashawa ithala ngokuvala. Beswinile kwinkunzi sematholeni imali. We came first position. Sasheshe sangayisebenzisa. So it's stuck with ithala manje until they release some of the little funds we have. But it's not enough. We're still looking for more, sir. Thank you.
Hi, Nhlaka.
Sanibona Nkosazana.
This is a great solution. I wish that it was around when my kids were small.
Oh.
But now they are big men. They don't need it anymore. What I want to ask, in terms of, you know, with kids, devices, hardly ever charge them. How long does the battery survive on this device? Because I don't want to put it on my child and then by lunchtime it's out of battery.
Since we're focusing, our target market is the very low end. We've used quality, but we have not put in more technology into it that's going to eat the battery. It's just a normal watch. So it's like we usually sell umqwayizeni. Angilazi igama lesingisi. So obviously umqwayizeni lasts very long. So it's very basic. We're also looking at ukuthi ingane ezingaloku ezidistebheka. So it's not like the smartwatch that you're wearing. It looks very nice on you.
Solution, okay. And sorry, lastly, does it have the capability to link more than one child?
Per watch, it's uniquely to that parent. Yes. So even if it would get lost, the second person can't use it until we unlink it on the system.
So when I'm so sorry.
No problem.
So the watch only notifies one parent.
Yes, for now it only notifies one parent. The way that we've developed the database for data purposes, you have umzali, umalume, ingane. I heard udokotela lapho bekhuluma nge-database nange-data, so that will give you exactly ukuthi bangaka abantu that communicate in that container. You can't have more.
Sorry.
No problem.
I saw you also have cybersecurity plans.
Yes.
You even have money that you want to allocate to that part, and it's very important for each and every time we tie a digital footprint, especially to a child. We must be cognizant of the fact that there are cyber threats. People can hack to find out where the child is, and the rest could happen. What are your plans when you say cybersecurity? What are your plans in terms of that?
As we know, technology ke sise ulala namhlanje kusasa sekuwenye into. One, we're looking at training as much as we can abantu to obviously develop abantu. So with the market trends, we need to think ahead. So what we've done now is that database yethu, it's much safer now that it's in the cloud. So a few people can access with the credentials amanje. So you don't have a physical servers like we've had previously. So we'd also, please don't, it's not meant to sound bad. Microsoft will also be blamed if there's any security breaches that come through.
All right. Asbong and Laga.
Asbong.
Yeah, quick one. I know device yako on a prototype as yet, which means it hasn't gone through any vigorous testing as yet.
Yeah, but
ama-plans akho ukuthi uhambe wenza ama-tests ukuthi safe kangakanani angeke iqhume esandleni sengane zonke lezi zinto lezo. Do you have plans for that in place to get that certification?
Yebo, but kunjalo. We are definitely going to use recyclable material. That's number one. So, go environment, we've done our research on that one. We've seen smartwatches in Nkosazana being showing wash lag. So we're going to be using that kind of material. So it would definitely be safe. And batteries, just those small 5 volts batteries, lawa ajwayelekile. Now, but that they are going advanced and they're using lithium. So it's definitely, that's for sure.
Sure. Thank you, Nhlakanipho Cuban Technologies. Thank you so much, sir. Asimshayeleni ihlombe uNhlakanipho. Thank you. As Nhlakanipho leaves the stage, we move to smart farming. As we await to smart farming to do their presentation, ladies and gentlemen, as soon as we are done with this pitching item, then we will break for lunch. So just hold on, we're almost there. Smart farming. Asimshayeli ihlombe.
Ready? All right, greetings all. My name is Nkololeko Nkomo. I am here with my partner, Kazimu Yonene, and together we are the Smart Farming Companion app. So, what is the Smart Farming? All right. So, what is the Smart Farming Companion app? It is an app that is used to help make farming easier for all farmers, from small scale to large scale farmers, which has to make farming protectable, sustainable, and profitable. Right, so I will tell you about our friend Bongani, who we saw has a problem in farming, right?
So Bongani is part of South Africa's smallholder farmers who are currently caught in a low yield productivity and financial loss crisis, with over 2.3 million farmers nationally and only 700,000 in KZN facing declined yield, losing up to 40% of their crops each season due to late disease detection and limited access to expert device, with just one extension officer for over 500 farmers. Most of the support never gets there in time. So for a smallholder earning over 50,000, they could, For a smallholder who earns 50,000, these losses could mean they would lose about 20,000 rands. So there's also a language barrier whereby 72% of the population uses native languages from South Africa. So what our application does is that it includes all the languages and enables people who are not very literate to actually interact with the language or the application in their specified languages. So moving forward, now let's understand what the Smart Farming Companion is about. So we just look how it works and move on forward to the next slide.
Right, as you can see, our Smart Farming Companion app, it will help us predict weather, which will tell us, okay, if there is a flood coming, then we'll know that, okay, a flood is coming, we'll be able to take preventive measures for. Thank you. Right. Sorry, I just lost my train of thought for a second. Right. We will be moving on to what we used to develop our app, right?
So what it actually does, it fuses hyper-local weather data with AI-driven crop models, providing timely personalized alerts. So imagine Bongani getting a notification like early blight likely next week on your tomatoes, apply biofungicide now. That single alert could reduce the yield loss by 30%.
Right, now we will move on to our target market. Right, our target market includes all small-scale farmers from across the country, right? Which means that our goal is 10% penetration, meaning we will be able to reach about 230K users on our farmers.
So while competitors focus on grain and English-only solution, our platform embraces horticulture, staple crops, and multilingual support, widening our impact. So this actually just gives us a clear competitive advantage for a solution tailored for South Africa's diversity. We'll be moving forward to our business model. So for our business model, we actually have a freemium model. So what it actually entails is that we have a free tier which offers the basic and core structures or functions of our app, which is weather alerts, disease warning, and community forums to drive the updatation of the system. So also have a premium subscription which will be going for 100 Rand per month, which gives access to advanced analytics like expert chats and market priority. We also have a business-to-business data service whereby we'll be offering our data to agribusinesses, insurers, and the government in order to make better policies that govern the agricultural sector of our country. With these three revenue streams, we project around 12 million in profits with a 65% gross margin and the break-even by the 24 month, which is meaning 2 years, we expect to break even if our solution goes live. So now we'll take a look beyond this business model and actually see how we'll actually grow it and turn it into an international brand. So basically, in terms of the growth and expansion, in the first phase, we plan to launch it in South Africa with our local government. Then we extend regionally to Zambia and other countries. Then in the third phase, we integrate Internet of Things sensors and drone imagery for a full-stack agri-tech intelligence will enable farmers to complete everything. In conclusion, we'd like to say our vision is imagine South Africa where a smallholder is a data-driven entrepreneur, where knowledge is localized, risk is reduced, and farming becomes a sustainable livelihood. Imagine Bongani confident and informed, connected to new buyers, and inspiring the community with his resilience through data.
Thank you, Smart Farming. Ladies and gentlemen, there was a presentation from Smart Farming, especially Thombe. Now the judges will ask questions.
Hi, yes.
Hi.
Just one question that have you done the market analysis of how many farmers have access to a smartphone and have the awareness or capability to use the applications?
Yes, so we have an 80% coverage whereby we have an 80% smartphone coverage whereby that means 85% of our target markets is actually able to use smartphones and does own one or does own a feature phone which will be able to sustain the application. So all of these stats and all of these digits are driven from data we got from a credible source, which is DataSay.
Yes, as we explained, our target is 10% of the 700,000 farmers in the key provinces. So if we reach the 10%, I believe we'll be able to make profit.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for the great presentation and for doing such thorough market research. It was a good prepared presentation. I'm also glad to see that you've got an AI-first approach approach and looking at offline capability as well.
Yes, yes.
Can you elaborate a bit more on that? How it works? Is there IoT devices attached, or is it just purely a smartphone application?
So as I explained in our vision or in our plan for the future, we're currently having in our smartphones, whereby in the future we'll be able to extend to Internet of Things sensors and drone technology that will be able to create the imagery and more precise information for the farmers to use.
All right, quick one from my end. I think it's a lovely idea, it's a novel idea, but I haven't heard anything on how you plan to secure your idea from any rivals that decide to copy you or better your solution.
So currently, due to the haste timing of this convention, we are currently in the process of getting IP around our idea. As we speak, it's being processed. But so in terms of competitors, we do have them, but we are unique in the sense that we offer inclusivity and diversity, which is something that South Africa strives on and is built on, and not just focused on English only, but also include all of the other sectors or other people residing in our country.
Good afternoon, gents, and thank you for your thorough presentation. What would you say are unique pain points that you're solving for your customers that other people are not doing or overlooking at the moment?
So we're planning to tap on an untapped market currently, which is rural, mostly rural farmers, but also urban farmers are able to use the system to improve it. But the direct approach that we're coming with is actually inclusivity and diversity in terms of the usability of the system and enabling all of the users, regardless of your literature level or whatever, to enable you to just maneuver around the system and be productive.
The predictive AI that we will be using on our app will be the tool that is helping us most in understanding the languages. So it will be able to convert the languages on the applications, and it will be also able to use voice-based. So you can also just talk on the app in whatever language you want, and it will convert that for you in order for your client or supplier you are trying to connect with, in order for everyone to be able to understand and connect.
If that's all from the judges, I'd just like to appreciate the opportunity and appreciate the questions and the available insight that we got. Thank you.
We will now invite Emed Kond. Emed Kond, all right. Emed Konad. Asimshali Hlombe.
Greetings. According to Stats SA, approximately 15.7% of individuals in South Africa are a member of medical aid schemes, and about 25.4% of households said that they would use private healthcare services first when needing care. We noted through a survey that accessing the services of healthcare providers was an inconvenience to those who use them, with challenges including inability to book in real time, emails being responded to late or not at all, phone calls not being answered, as well as waiting in lines, So for a student who has assignments to write and submit, as well as classes to attend, or a busy professional that has deadlines to meet, meetings to attend, or an overall busy day, Much more convenience is needed. So these are tiny barriers, but they result in reduced access to care, patient frustration, and lower engagement, as well as clinical risks that include delayed diagnosis or treatment, poor management of chronic conditions, and fragmented care. Anecdotal evidence and private clinic surveys indicate that booking inefficiencies are one of the top barriers to utilization, especially in GP and specialist practices. Healthcare is essential for our overall well-being, and it should always be prioritized. So I am Donabo Kolo, and I bring to you all eMed Connect. Our concept was born in 2023, and we went on to register it in 2024. Our solution brings the convenience that is necessary to ensure that no one neglects their health care. And in turn, it is a blessing for healthcare providers, providing them with increased exposure while decreasing their administrative burden. Using FlutterFlow, we have completed the development of our minimum viable product, which is an application that allows users to book and to browse and book an appointment with the healthcare provider of their choosing. Other features, which include telemedicine services, as well as an AI assist tool, will be phased in upon effective market penetration. Our markets are, okay, sorry. So this is a breakdown, so this is our MVP, and this is a breakdown of our target market. Our main customer segment with this solution is healthcare providers. This is because for our revenue model, we will be charging them a commission for every booking that they get through our platform. Other revenue streams will also be added as we introduce our other features and further penetrate the market. Our market size is broken down into users as well as providers. For users, the total addressable market is 20 to 25 million, and the serviceable available market is 3 to 4 million, as well as the serviceable obtainable markets being 50 to 100,000. For providers, the total addressable market is over 100,000, the serviceable available market 25,000 to 40,000, and the serviceable obtainable market is 1,000 to 2,000. Our application houses all the tools that are necessary to ensure that accessing healthcare is convenient, and in turn, it also impacts healthcare providers positively. Our main competitor with this solution is RecoMed, and our value add or value proposition at the current stage is the AI integration. The channels that we use include social media and official company websites, as well as the Google My Business profile. These assist with increasing our reach and also adding to our credibility. Our potential partners include medical aid schemes, pharmacies, private clinics and hospitals, NGOs, as well as public health entities. These are our projections in line with our key performance indicators. And this is how our funding requirements look if we outsource the development of the platform, and this is how they look if we develop in-house. The ideal is to outsource the development, considering the constraints that come with in-house developments. So currently, the app that we have, we developed it using a no-code platform. Ideally, we would like to have it coded so that it is more efficient, and we can add all the features that we need for it to work optimally. This is the team. Uspelele Mutwa is the Research and Development Officer. He is the brains behind the MVP. He has a lot of coding experience as well. I am the project manager. I am also self-taught in web development using Web Studio, and I also enrolled in the FNP App of the Year Academy. We are both medical students. I'm a fourth year medical student at UKZN, and he's in his 6th year. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Kolo. Judges, your 5 minutes starts right now.
Thank you, Mr. Kolo. Quick one from me. Just clarify for me 1 second. You said you've got one competitor currently in the market, RecoMed, if I'm not mistaken. The differentiation factor that you mentioned from you and that competitor is the AI integration. But then you also mentioned earlier on in your presentation that you will only integrate AI once you've reached sufficient market penetration. Can you clarify that?
Okay, so that is true, I would say, because currently we are working with an MVP, so we are looking to penetrate the market using the MVP. And in the development of the minimum viable product, we were unable to integrate the AI tool because of the technical gap, right? So since we're using FlutterFlow, Pelele also does have just the baseline knowledge and not the expert skill. So we are using the MVP to penetrate the markets, and then once we are able or have the capacity to then have the AI integration tool added on, then is when it's going to be implemented. So we're currently working with the MVP currently, which in itself, it doesn't exactly, it's not, okay, so the value proposition is not part of the MVP that we currently have. So yes, I think.
Okay. Thank you for a great presentation. As a medical student, I'm sure you saw that gap in the healthcare market. When you think about virtual appointments and having the ability for anyone to be able to reach healthcare, have you thought about building in an accessibility and an accessibility program, considering that some patients might need the entry point for the application to be accessible?
Okay, if possible, could you rephrase for me? I think I got lost in the accessibility part. I'm sorry.
Okay, so because this is a healthcare or a e-health platform,
Yes.
Assuming that your customers would be patients reaching your healthcare institutions, have you thought about building in an accessibility feature for easy entry if someone is blind or hard of hearing or have some form of a disability to be able to use the platform?
Okay, I think it's much more clear now. We hadn't thought of that actually, so it's actually something that we will add into our considerations. Thank you very much for that.
Hi. You mentioned about the AI assistance,
Yes.
right? Can you please just elaborate on that?
Okay.
What is AI assistance and how do you cater for the AI model security, like LLM level security? If something goes wrong with the model, how will you tackle that situation?
Okay, so with regards to the AI integration, we did some research on a tool that we believe would have been suitable for this, which was PalmMed. Unfortunately, we found out that it's actually only currently used in the US. So we're currently exploring other tools that are present. So the idea around the AI integration was to ensure that people are accessing the healthcare providers that they need for whatever specific issue that they have, to prevent someone jumping from a general practitioner and then they actually needed a dentist instead. So the AI integration tool was to come in and assist in terms of ensuring that you go to the healthcare provider that suits your particular ailment. And yes, that's what it was for specifically. And then I think from a project team point of view, we do sort of lack in terms of our challenges when it comes to the technical aspects of things. That is why we wanted to opt for outsourcing the development of the platform so that we do not find ourselves missing important things like the last part of the question that you mentioned. Thank you.
Hi. It looks like you still have a lot more development to do in terms of getting your application or your product to the level that you want it to be.
Yes.
What's your main source of revenue that allows you to do all this?
Okay, so to get to the point that we currently at now, we were able to secure funding through MTN. It's ICT Innovation Challenge that they host via Enactus South Africa. So we're able to, getting into the top 12, gain 25,000 Rand in funding, as well as a laptop that we've been using to currently develop to the stage that we're at.
Right, Mr. Kolo, thank you so much for your presentation.
Thank you very much.
From eMed Connect, we would like to have someone from ZFit now to do their pitch. ZFit? ZFit? Oh, there she is. Simshayile Hlombe naye.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Zanele Zuma from Zakanya Fitness, Too Fit to Quit. I have 10 years of experience in a fitness industry. I'm currently operating 2 successful gyms in South Coast here in KZN. Through this journey, I have seen firsthand the barriers women face in maintaining healthy lifestyle. Millions of South African women want to exercise, eat healthy, but most digital solutions are either expensive, generic, or require constant internet access. This leaves a large portion of women underserved, struggling to stay motivated and engage with limited support tailored to their culture and lifestyle. ZFit is a tech-driven, expert-backed solution. Our offline first AI engine adapts workout and meals plan to each user, even without internet connectivity. Algorithms consider local food, available equipment, and user preferences, delivering truly personalized, culturally relevant programs. Gamified and analytics and community features motivate users, track progress in real time, and provide actionable feedback. Our hybrid cloud plus on-device architecture allows the AI-driven fitness app to scale seamlessly from 100 to 1,000 of users without performance issues. This combination of expertise, AI personalization, offline capability, and scalable technology makes ZFit the first of its own kind in South Africa. ZFit uniquely fuses decade-long fitness expertise with cutting-edge AI technology. Users don't just get content. They get a smart, adaptive digital coach that guides them, motivates them, and delivers a result in culturally relevant, practical way. Our target audience is women aged 16 to 60, particularly those underserved by gyms or generic apps. With this AI-driven, offline-ready, scalable technology, ZFit is positioned to capture the growing South African digital health market and expand across South Africa. We are seeking strategic partnership and investment to enhance our AI, expand our content library, and reach more users. With ZFit, we are transforming fitness in South Africa, bringing decades of expertise into digital area to make health and wellness accessible and engaging and data-driven. Zakanya Fitness is already changing lives on the ground. With this app, we can make this transformation nationwide and beyond. We require an amount of 150,000 rand toward developing this fitness app. So for more information, you can also follow us on our socials. We are available on TikTok as Zanele Zuma Fitness, on Instagram, Zakanya Fitness. We're also available on YouTube as Training by Za. I thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Zuma, for the presentation. Judges?
Just one question. why only women? Why not men as well?
Can you please repeat that for
I'm
me?
saying why only women? Why not men as well?
Because
not-
we are
so my
trying
question- okay, so
we
let
are
me
trying
just-
to encourage like women to participate as well in sport activities as well to eat healthy, you know, because we also on this app we are also planning to have a diet plan advice for women, specifically those that are diabetics, so that they can follow the meals from our apps. We also offering as well custom workout for people as well, for everyone, but not only women. But we are focusing, we're targeting more women in this app.
The reason for this comment was actually, don't you think that you are limiting your subscriber base by only focusing on women? Or is it what you focus on and this is what your goal is?
Yeah, that's my goal because like I also mentioned earlier that I am currently have gyms in the South Coast. So it's a gym for everyone. But I'm always focusing on women more, you know, because I'm trying to keep them active and also like to put them as well on this journey, you know, to become active as well, like me. Yeah.
Okay, Siyabonga Zakhanya. All right, you're entering a market that is flooded with apps that provide a very similar service. But you said that what makes your app different is that it is culturally based, so it's relevant to South Africa. Can you explain an example of that?
Our one is unique because it was built for South African women. So our meal plans that are available, it's only food that is available in South Africa. So it can be easily accessible to our local farmers. You will never see a sushi on our app. So only spinach, vegetable like potatoes that everyone can be able to afford, you know, because it's locally, so it's easily accessible. So that is our plan for this app.
Thank you for a great presentation, Zanele. And thank you for leading with experience. You started your presentation quite impactful with, I like the slogan, too fit to quit. And you also portray that image really well. And I think it is a very good scalable solution. My question is there, because it's a personalized application, is there a person as well that you can have as your personal trainer and have kind of a virtual sessions as well, if you do not have access to a fitness center like a gym, as an example?
I am also a fitness coach as well. So I also run classes, I coach women. I also, like I mentioned, I have experience, but for this app, we have qualified people that are working on our app because I don't have a skill on that, but I do have a skill on running my business and coaching people and also engaging with my clients. But there is someone qualified to work on our app.
Okay, my question is also for the end user, if they will have a trainer, like a fitness personal trainer, not just sessions, but also someone.
Yeah, we also going to have someone, a coach, yes, online coach, yes.
I don't know if it's working. Hi, Zanele.
Hi.
You also mentioned that you provide meal plans. Obviously, if I'm going to be using an app, I wouldn't really want to depend entirely on AI to tell me what to eat. Do you have any specialist that your users can consult in terms of their dietary requirements?
Yes, we do have in our gym facilities. Also, the app is going to give you an option as well. So if you click on our app, you're going to be able to click the option that it will give you the meal that you require. So you're also going to be able to get it through just by clicking the option
so
which meal you are
You
requiring.
mean you have an option to just go with AI in terms
Yes,
of
and they need to
defining what-
provide you with the meal.
or
And it's
choose to go
also like
with a-
affordable and accessible, so you can just go to any shop, you know, it's affordable.
And then lastly, how do you generate income from this app?
This app is still under development. So at the moment, I'm still generating income through our facilities because I have facilities. So for now, the app is not making any income, is still under development. So we've been working on it from the past 5 months by bootstrapping, investing, taking the money from the other business, investing back to this app. So we are still working on it, and we still need more as well money to invest. So that's why it's kind of delaying, and it's a long process.
All right, thank you so much. Zanele, thank you so much. Zanele Zatfit, thank you for the presentation, and thanks to the judges. Second, no, actually we have 2 more. The 9th one would be add notes. Add notes. Add notes.
Greetings, everyone. Standing before you is Phumelele Ndlovu. Am I audible enough? Yes. Okay. Standing before you is Phumelele Ndlovu, and I'm the acting CEO of AdNodes. According to Telecommunications Union, 2.7 billion people have never accessed the internet, and 13 million of these people are from South Africa. In rural and underserved communities, millions remain disconnected to the digital world. This is due to the traditional internet infrastructure being very expensive and very complex to deploy. So at AdNodes, we bridge the digital divide using the TV white space technology to deliver affordable and long-range internet to rural communities, where millions who have never connected to the internet are able to connect to the internet. Right, so AdNodes is a South African-based, award-winning internet service provider. We are also licensed by ICASA and also a member, sorry, just a minute. AdNodes is a multi-award-winning internet service provider based in South Africa. We have a goal of connecting 200,000 clients by 2026 and 6 million by 2030. AdNodes is fully licensed by ICASA and also certified by FPB to operate and provide internet services in South Africa. We are also a member of ISPA and WAPA, and we also uphold the ISPA Code of Conduct. As AdNodes, we've spearheaded into a revolution of connectivity through the TV wide space technology, which we use in the hard-to-reach areas. Also, AdNodes is 100% Black-owned. Okay, I'm pressing the wrong thing. Right, so we have presence in 2 data centers, Isando Terraco in Johannesburg, and also Riverhorse Terraco here in Durban. So also we do have coverage across 5 provinces, one being KZN, Eastern Cape, Limpopo, Mpumalanga, and Free State. We use the TV wide space technology to provide affordable and rural public facilities, your schools, your community halls, your uncapped and unlimited Wi-Fi hotspots for household, and also local communities and national government, connecting communities for as little as 10 Rand per day. Right, so I'm not going to go through everything there, but what does the TV wide space, why does the TV wide space matter in South Africa? It matters because it supports the national goal of national connectivity, and also it bridges the digital divide by bringing internet to rural communities and townships. So through the TV wide space technology, we've been able to deploy internet for 3 local municipalities, Renkonyeni municipality, Umzumbe local municipality, and Umsinga local municipality. Also through the TV Rights Space, we've been able to collaborate with CSIR in assisting 6 SMMEs starting their own ISPs. We do have one of them here today, Pazima IT, and you can go to the stand and they can showcase the devices that we use for TV Rights Space. And also, we've connected across about 200 schools across KZN and Limpopo, and also we've participated in the SA Connect initiative where we deploy public Wi-Fi hotspots for as little as 10 Rand per day. Thank you so much. You can contact us on our email, which is hello@adnotes.cs.za, and also you can call us on 039-940-2718, and we are based at Potchefstroom, there's our address there, and also at Hillcrest. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Ndlovu. Judges?
Thank you for a great presentation. It was very crisp and clear and straight to the point. It seems like you are already making quite significant impact, and thank you for that across the schools and across the communities. My question is also around the funding and the revenue. So you're saying that it's up to 10 Rand a day. Is there a subscription model, or is it pay as you use, or is there a monthly model to this?
Okay, so we do have month-to-month payments, and they are not debit orders, so the clients pay as they use the service. So with those packages, they begin at 299 per month. And also we do have a voucher system which we use for our hotspots, with vouchers starting at 10 Rand per day and 50 Rand for a week and 300 Rand for a month.
All right, I've got two questions. First one is on the hotspot side. Do you have plans to integrate any type of advertising there to get a secondary advertising on your hotspots?
Really struggling to hear you.
Advertising on
Right.
your hotspots. Do you have plans to add that to get a different stream of income?
Advertising.
And, yes, and then also, out of all of the other frequencies that are available, why did you choose TV white space in particular?
Okay. In terms of advertising for our hotspots, in the areas where we do have hotspot deployed, there are posters of the prices for the hotspots, and also it's also broadly advertised on our websites and also on our social media platforms. And with regards to why we chose TV White Space, it is because of it is able to tap into the dark areas where there is no coverage at all, where you can't lay your fiber due to the terrain in those areas. And also with the TV White Space, it can do quite a lot when it comes to the distance between the site and the client site. So there's leverage when it comes to that.
Hi. I just want to know from your employment perspective, what is the skill set and expertise of your employees, and do you have a minimum baseline for the skill set when you hire people there in your organization?
I'm really struggling to hear you. Can I come closer, perhaps? Your ubiquity training, and also someone who is technical and has technical training, and also someone who is technical and has technical backgrounds for them to do the work.
Hi, Spome. Thank you so much for your detailed presentation. And apologies if I missed this, but I just wanted to understand beyond rural connectivity that you're providing, what other markets are you targeting for your business, the TV White Space?
Yeah, we are targeting other markets besides your rural areas. We also are in townships, your urban areas as well, where you have your fiber. TV white space is not the only technology that we provide. We also provide your wireless. We also provide your fiber in areas that there is that infrastructure for that technology. So with the TV white space, the deployment happens in areas where you wouldn't get your typical fiber laid and your wireless.
All right, Siyabonga kakhulu ke Mandlovu. Thank you so much for that presentation from EdNotes. And I have to thank the judges as well, the passion with which they want to engage the presenters. It's exciting and inspiring as well. All right, Asante Tech Solutions would be our last one. Asante Tech Solutions. Abeko. Okay. Sizokutholela leya device ye panic. Yeah.
Sanibonani. Ninjani? Siyaphila nathi. Sanibonani. All right, okay, great. My name is Umuhlu Kandwalani Sibongo. I'm from Asante Tech Solutions. I'm here to share with you our journey as a business